for a restaurant, and you can't be too dark. You can't be too fat. And there's no laws to protect you from that. Like, you just, if you're black and fat, just don't come here. I know places in Africa that they are literally taking away people's property and their ownership of land and everything in Africa due to the fact that they believe that the white people shouldn't be there. This is happening in Africa, and it's happening right now. There are places in China where the Uyghurs are just getting like completely persecuted. And we want to talk about America, a place where someone can walk down the street and get a job. They can stand and say, they can stand, they can hustle, they can make money with an accent. They don't even have to speak the language. They're over here doing Google Translate. Walk into a bank, get a loan. Like, don't, ease up off my America right now. Like, ease up off them. This is the greatest country in the entire world. Racism is dead. It is. If you can walk into school and enroll your kids and you don't even speak the language. You don't even speak the language. And you walk in and your kid needs to go to school, and everybody stops everything that they're doing to enroll your child who doesn't even speak English. Don't tell me that this is a racist country. Don't tell me. And so when you get things like DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, and it's excluding a whole group of people, then what's happening is people start to feel like, oh, I'm entitled to it. And that's what's happening with African American women, in my opinion. They are the most educated. We're the most educated. We're the most educated. Well, if you're the most educated, right? So you get DEI all throughout your life, right? You're the most educated. You have the most degrees, more degrees than a thermometer. Then one would argue that after you have graduated with your degrees and the DEI helped you up until then maybe you shouldn't need it in the workforce, right? Or maybe you should need it initially in the workforce, and then maybe you don't need it anymore. Maybe you should take DEI applications. When did you use your DEI? Did you use it in undergrad? Or did you use it in your first job, your second job? Everybody be saving their DEI for their third job. I mean, for their CEO job. Like, seriously. If DEI works, then you don't need it throughout a person's entire career or entire history. If affirmative action works, then you only need it to give that person a quick leg up. You don't need it indefinitely. But it is hurting Black people, because what's happening is that you're getting put in positions and places that you don't necessarily have better skills than the person who is not privileged to the DEI. I used to say you don't have the skills to do the job. I'm not going to say that. I take that back, right? Maybe you do have the skills, but maybe someone has better skills than you. And they choose you because you fit a mold. That's not right. You are supposed to pick the person that has the better skill. And if you are Black and brown and you are that person, you can get the better skill. They are telling you that you need DEI because you cannot get the better skill. And that's not true. Black people are talented. just as white people are talented. Asian people are talented. Hispanic people are talented. Black people are smart, just as white people are smart. Black people are made in the image of God, just as white people are, just as Asian people are, just as Chinese, Japanese, African. We are all made in the image of God. And once we can really start to acknowledge that, and once we can really um, have a serious conversation with a white person and say, hey, brother, yes, brother, yes, because they are our brothers. Sir, you actually do that a little bit better than I do. You actually know a little bit more than me. And that's pretty cool. And celebrate them. And don't be a hater. And don't be jealous. Maybe that we can learn something. Then I think that we'll just be in a better place as a country, as a nation. Let me check in with Craig. Craig, what's up, babe? Still echoing? Let me let him in. Craig, you still echoing? I can't hear you. If all right, I'm gonna take him offline again. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get this together. We're gonna get this together. But so let's take a look at some of the letter that President Trump wrote, his memo about the freezing that everybody started like freaking out about. Hold on. Y'all, give me 1 second. I do not want, I'm going to read it specifically because I don't want, here we go. All right. Y'all. All right. Let me read the memo because I think the memo is really important. Okay. All right. I want to put it up there. I want to put it up for you guys to see because it's so important. Oh, it's so important. This is important. I'm trying to get Craig back on. I'm gonna get him back on. All right, y'all. This thing is acting stupid. Hold on. I really want this clip. Share screens. Guys, thanks for hanging out there with me. Oh, here we go. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay. This is so important. So we're going to read it while we wait on Craig. Craig, chat me when you're ready, okay? All right. So all this hoopla about what's going on, it came from the Executive Office of the President, Office of Management and Budget. Okay? So this is the memo. Memorandum for heads up of executive departments and agencies. Okay? Okay. He's ready. He's ready. Craig, you ready?
I am. You guys can hear
Oh
me?
my gosh. Hold on. I think they can hear you. Hold on. First, shout out Neil. Thank you. Hold on. Let me read what you said. Oh my God. I think the intention with DEI was good, but horribly executed. They just chose people because race instead of merit. It was meant to help the minorities who were passed on, but it helped push racism. I agree 100%, 155% with you. Thank you so much for this super chat, Neil. You're awesome. Okay. Craig, I was getting ready to get into this memorandum, but I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
I want to know if people can hear the. Do you hear the echo still?
I'm hoping there's no echo.
Do you hear the echo, Craig? Do you hear the echo?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
it was a little better.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Let me let you introduce yourself. Hold on. All right, y'all. We gonna get to know
All right.
Craig a little bit better. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm looking at the comments, you guys. So I'm gonna introduce myself. I still hear echo, so I'm just gonna talk through it. Hopefully, you all can hear me. So I am a Baltimore born and raised. Been here most of my life. I did live in the South for a little while. By profession, I am into tech. I am the founding director for a community health desk program, which helps get people from marginalized community into the tech industry. Um, Also, I'm a program manager for construction. Essentially, I'm in the workforce development, so I help to get people into both tech as well as in construction. I'm just looking at the comments. How's the echo?
He said his echo is bad.
It said it's bad.
Yeah, that's what one.
I don't know. Do you want to try this another time, or because I don't know if they can't hear it,
Yeah, we gonna have to reconvene. Dang, man. Oh.
yeah, and I've tried just about
Uh,
everything.
yeah, he's tried about everything. Craig, I'm gonna have to invite you back for sure. Oh my gosh, I hate that. He said the echo's bill bad.
Yeah, and I've tried just about everything. Different headphones. I do have one that you plugged in, but for some reason it's not recognizing that one. I'll try it again. I have an old school headphones, but it's not picking it up at the moment. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I don't want to take up your audience. So,
No, I mean, if you here's what I'll say is if you want to just go backstage and try to fix it, and then I'll keep going with this memo.
I can maybe try from my phone. So does this application that you use work on
Yeah.
on the cell phone? Let me just
Yeah.
try from my cell phone.
Okay.
Okay.
He's gonna try it from his cell phone. Okay. So, you guys, this is so important. Oh, I'm so excited. I know, y'all. I get so excited when I talk about my president. Everybody knows I rocks with President Trump. Okay. So everybody's getting upset about this memo, y'all, but I need y'all to stop watching legacy media. They are lying to you. Okay? Let's read it together. The American people elected Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States and gave him a mandate to increase the impact of every federal taxpayer dollar. Who's upset with that? Who's upset with that? Just in that first line. He is supposed to he wants to increase the impact of every federal taxpayer dollar. Who doesn't want to increase the impact of their dollar? Let me know. Seriously. Because if you don't, give me your dollar so I can increase the impact of it. Okay? All right. In fiscal year 2024, of the nearly 10 trillion that the federal government spent, more than 3 trillion was federal financial assistance, such as grants and loans. Career and political appointees in the executive branch have a duty to align federal spending and action with the will of the American people as expressed through presidential priorities. Financial assistance should be dedicated to advancing administration priorities, focusing taxpayer dollars to advance a stronger and safer America, eliminating the financial burden of inflation for citizens, unleashing American energy and manufacturing, ending wokeness and the weaponization of government, promoting efficiency in government, and making America healthy again. Those are all the things that he ran on. All the things that he ran on, no surprises. People saying, "Oh, you thought he wasn't gonna." That's what we elected him for. Myself. Yes, I did. The use of federal resources to advance Marxist equity, transgenderism, and the Green New Deal social engineering policies is a waste of taxpayer dollars that does not improve the day-to-day lives of those we serve. My God, come on, Matthew. Matthew is preaching, okay? This memorandum requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs, okay, and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements. For example, during the initial days of his administration, President Donald J. Trump issued a series of executive orders to protect the American people and safeguard valuable taxpayer resources, including protecting the American people against invasion. That's getting rid of the migrants. Reevaluating and realigning United States foreign aid. That's the whole sending money overseas, right? That's the whole being a part of NATO. That's the whole World Health Organization, giving all this money to these places that don't advance us. And then putting America first in international environmental agreements. Yes. So you want us to stop coal and reduce our carbon footprint, and we're only less than 400 million people, while people in India, where there's a billion people, people in China, where there's a billion people, have a larger carbon footprint than we do, and you're making us feel like we're the bad guys. No, putting unleashing American energy, drill baby drill, ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. Y'all, I just don't see how y'all disagree with anything that's in that. I don't know what they're mad about. Anywho, let me see what's going on with Craig. Craig.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you have an echo?
I have
I
an
have an
echo
echo
on my
on my
phone.
phone.
So it must be something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not sure
not
It's got
what
to
it
be
is.
something else. It's got to be something else.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hang on though. Don't go anywhere. Keep on talking now. I'm gonna go mute for a second.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So I think that memorandum is definitely what we the people that voted for him, and now they're trying to say that all those people didn't vote for him, that President Trump really had a larger vote than really Kamala Harris had more votes than President Trump. Like, this foolishness. I seen Roland Martin say something about that. Like, he was like actually Kamala Harris got lost 3.5 million votes due to voter suppression. Sir, yes, I'm sorry, the dead people didn't vote this time. You're right. If the dead people they sat this election out. Sorry, Roland. The dead people, they was tired this year. The people in the nursing home, they was tired. They was tired. 3.5 million people did not sit home in the most important election in the entire world. That never happened, y'all. You can lie to yourself all you want. You can lie to yourself, Roland. Lie to yourself. Hold on, Neil. You said Craig. So you said you help hire people in tech. You hiring in New Jersey and New York. He's really good. I'll make sure I pass on along your name. But yeah, he's gone. Neil, we all know, everyone knows that 3.5. And so now they're trying to say they got people studies saying that people chose the couch. People didn't come out to vote. The black folks stayed home. After y'all done told the black folks that they was going to go back into chains, and how like how Trump was a threat to democracy and everything was going to be so bad. You think that they didn't vote? You think 3.5 million black folks just decided that we're just not we're just not gonna vote for the black girl, for the collard green cooking, curry chicken making black girl? No, of course they want to vote. Of course they did. You just couldn't cheat. You couldn't steal it this time. So exactly. They cheated. Exactly. We was too big to rig this time. We had got them on all fronts, okay? We had got them with mail-ins, we had got them with ballot harvesting. We was chasing every single ballot. They could not cheat this time. I mean, I know Charlie Kirk people had did some work. I know the collard greens in the bathtub with curry powder. Neil, stop. I gotta put that up there. Sister girl. Indian girl. I ain't seen her talking to no black folk lately. Anywho. She didn't invite them over to her house. She invited them over to the vice president's house, but they ain't invite. She not allowed over there with Doug and her. She ain't inviting all them black folks over there anyway. I say that to say, you guys, the American people have spoken. Okay. We are sick of race. We weren't afraid of Trump being a threat to democracy. No one was afraid that he was going to put us back into chains. No one was scared. Everybody was broke. That's it. You want to know the formula? We were all broke. Inflation was killing us. And we got tired of y'all. We got tired of y'all lying. Mainstream media just needs to pack up and go home. Pack up and go home. Like, it's over for them. It is so over for them until they start telling the truth. Until they start telling the truth. Let me see what Craig got going on. Craig, you still here, Echo?
Hang on. I forgot to switch my audio. This one is me. If you can hear me, 1 second.
I can hear you.
I forgot to switch my audio. This one is me.
No echo. No echo, Craig.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I don't think they can hear echo anymore. What'd you do? It don't matter. Introduce yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No echo?
You hear an echo?
No.
Yay! Okay. I don't know what you did, but you fixed it. Yes. So okay. So one. He said no echo. Neil said no echo. Yay!
That was a
All
long
right.
journey.
We gonna get this show on the road. Okay.
Cool.
Hold on, but before you start, Neil said that do you hire people in tech in New Jersey and New York? You froze. You froze. You froze a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, I switched my connection, thinking my audio issues was a part of the connections, but I just switched it back to my main connection. Hopefully, it's a little bit more stable.
Okay.
All right. And you were saying?
No, one of our viewers he asked if you do it if you hire in New Jersey and New York for the tech industry.
Was right now my main focus is the construction industry, that sector.
Mhm.
That's my main focus right now, and to some degree construction tech. But unfortunately, nothing in right now in New Jersey and New York, just mainly
Okay.
Baltimore.
Well, key to that statement was right now.
Yeah, right now.
All right, go ahead. Introduce yourself. We still have people that are on. Thank you
Okay.
guys so much for hanging in there. This is so important, and I know you guys want it, so that's why you're hanging on.
Right. So
Mhm.
so again, I know I don't know what you heard from the last time, but you probably uh, heard. I guess you guys heard a little bit that my background is into tech. I worked actually tech in the legal industry for a while. I've done my own freelance work. I've started up programs, national director program for pretty much a public free help desk service where we train people, marginalized communities in the IT sector. And we get them experience on the help desk, get them certified, and just get them employed. More recently, as I explained, was the construction. I do have a construction past labor industry as I was going through college. I went through that. So that's pretty much. I've been a lifelong volunteer, so I volunteered at a number of places. Again, my basically, if you want to sum it up, I'm into workforce development and just getting people prepared for the workforce. So I kind of do a lot of digging in that area, data, background research. I address a lot of barriers. I look at barriers to employment, those things that prevent people from being employed.
Okay. So this is right up your alley. You're gonna help
Correct.
to educate me today. Like look, I don't believe in any of this DEI stuff. So, but I am open to you changing my mind. And I mean that with all my heart. Like Craig, I am not no BS. Right now, I am
Okay.
open to hearing your experience in regards to this. What you said about quote unquote marginalized communities and how you help them. Um why do black folks think that they need help and other folks seem to just do it on their own? Is it a gene that black folks have that
Well,
it's like is it like a barrier in their mind or in their DNA that they feel like they need assistance that everybody else don't need?
well, first let me answer that with a question. You're black, right?
No, 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 no. I haven't been black for about a year and a
Okay.
half now.
So, do you feel that way? Do you feel like you need help?
Well, I'm not black, so I don't. I don't feel like I need help.
Oh, okay. Now, with that being said, to say that everyone else feels like they don't need help, that's not true. In
Okay.
fact, a large sum of the European population was given money. They were given money to relocate from European countries after after slavery. So they didn't get wealth on their own. There's none of these. There's no one who has gotten anywhere without help in this country, be it slave labor that they got help or handouts from the government itself. And I believe Martin Luther King actually referenced it in one of his speeches, how that the peasants of Europe were undergirded by the government. They were given land when they came over. They were given handouts. They were given handouts. Now to say that black people is asking for handouts, that's not true. We're asking what belongs to us. That's what we're
Mm.
asking for, what we work for, what was promised to our ancestors. That's We're not asking for a handout. We're asking for what belongs to us, what was never given to us by this country that we built. So we're not asking for a handout at all. So I don't know where that sentiment comes from, but that is, in my opinion, that sentiment actually comes from the very people who the very group of people who oppress the group of people and say, "Oh, that's a handout." But those group of people actually owe what they think is a handout and promote that. And you hear a lot of people, say that rhetoric or speak that same rhetoric, and it doesn't add up. They actually owe us. It's not They're not giving us anything.
Why do you feel like they oh okay. So it is proven that less than 95%, I mean, well, no, less than 5% of white people owned slaves. 95% of white folks did not own slaves. So
Um,
who owes black people stuff?
okay, that's another one that I hear. But where's the study? What data research do you get that from?
Well, I mean, it's several different studies. In particular, it was very costly to own slaves. So everybody didn't have slaves. Like a lot, like you said, them European peasants didn't have slaves. A lot of people did not have slaves, and so when we say, and there was black people that owned slaves too. I know you know that. So when we say this country owes us because of slavery that happened to them, like who owes them? Who
How,
owes
how,
them?
ma- you said less than 5% of them benefit. Let's say that's true, right?
Hmm.
How many less than 5% own slave? How many
Hmm.
of them benefited from slavery? How many of them are benefiting
Let's say
today?
all. Let's
Wait,
say
wait a
all
minute.
of them.
Yeah,
Hmm.
all of them are benefiting,
Hmm.
right? All of them.
Hmm.
So then that too should be paying. And in fact, and well, let me kind of take that back. Let me take it back a little bit. America owes black folk, right?
Okay.
Because it was the United States government that was complicit with slavery, the Jim Crows, Black Code laws. It was the United States that was very much complicit in it, right? And so, if you are a citizen of the United States, nobody's coming out of their pocket to pay. Nobody, not a single person in America will be coming out of their pocket to be paying for slavery, right? The same way nobody came out of their pocket, nobody had to dig in their pocket, go in their bank account to fund Ukraine, Israel, who else? The Afghanistan's people that came over, the migrants, which they're up into the trillions, I believe, by now, as far as funding them. Nobody actually said, well, who's going to pay for all of this? No, but at the same time, nobody actually went into their pocket. So I think the misnomer, the misconception that is put out by what I like to call white supremacist doctrine, right? Because they don't want to pay reparations, and they are, right? They will. At some point, they will pay reparations, right? They won't have a choice, in my opinion. But that's stories for another day. Uh, but nobody's coming out of their pocket to pay for reparations. That's one of those talking points that just doesn't fit in with the narrative because nobody's coming out of their pocket to pay for reparations.
Okay, so America is responsible for slavery according to you guys, right?
According to
So
America.
so other places have had slaves. So India, for instance, they had slavery. Africa has slavery now. China has slavery now. Egypt has slavery, and it was the black folks enslaving. It was the brown people enslaved. Why is it the ultimate sin that Americans cannot overcome when Americans and Europeans were the ones that actually ended slavery? Why can't they
Nah,
overcome it?
yeah. No, we not see. No, America did not. And see, you don't get credit. Even let's say they did in slavery, right? You don't
They
get
did.
credit for you. No, you don't get credit for. You don't get credit for doing something, for fixing something that you broke, right? You don't get credit if I stole something from somebody and return it back. You don't praise me and say, hey, yeah, you brought it back. Hey, congratulations to you. You are great because no, because you stole it from me. So no, America don't. You don't get to say, "Oh, we ended slavery." You shouldn't have had slavery in the first place. And let's talk about the other nations in slavery because we hear this a lot, right? Now, what a lot of people refer to as slavery, which was indentured servitude. It was, people paying off debts. Now, what Europeans brought, and Islam, the Islamic community before them, what um, but even the European and specifically the American slavery was particularly brutal. It did not follow the norms of slavery. Slavery, again, what they call slavery, right? It wasn't there's a term that they have for it. There's a certain brand of slavery that perpetual servitude that America brought that you didn't really see in other places. And on top of that, they brought a particular set of brutality, feeding babies to alligators, sick stuff, eating them. Yes, they ate black people. That's sickness. This is what they've done, right? So it was particularly cruel and very different from what we even saw in Africa and India and places like that. You didn't see this type of way where they were taking whole babies. Babies. They had no regard for our children. They had
So
no regard for our
where
children or our elderly folks. And those other places, that there was a stark contrast to the slavery that we had here.
where are you getting this from? Because
Books, I read.
I do know that the brown Indian folks was eating people. Like I know Indians were cannibalists. I've
There,
never heard
there's a book
that
called The
white people.
Delectable Negro. You should read it. It's called The Delectable Negro. You can check it out and
What
read it.
makes so what I'm asking you is what makes that fact, what makes that book and that fact when there's no other evidence of white people being cannibals, like there's no other evidence,
What?
what makes that fact and
Oh,
me saying that they didn't eat people, they didn't eat Negroes. I mean, it just almost honestly to me, Craig, sometimes, and this is not to you, it almost seems like they just get off on black people getting emotional. And I'll hear slavery one way when I was 5 years old. And then when I got 8, so they'll say, yeah, everybody was enslaved. And then by the time I turned 8, they say we were enslaved in chains and then we got beaten. And then by the time I turned 12, they'll say, oh yeah, by the way, they got eaten and then they got raped. And then by the time I turned 15, and it's just getting worse. And so now that here I am, 41, I'm hearing that white people ate ate people and they ate babies and alligators. What it's just it seems like as black people start to reconcile and white people start to get together and we start to talk about what happened in slavery and we start to move on, it's like black folks or people try to up the ante to make black people more emotional about a period of time that happened to all nations and all cultures. And at some point, black folks, is it wrong to say gotta get over it?
yeah, because yes, it's absolutely wrong because nobody tells the Jewish folks to get over the Holocaust. Nobody told Americans to get over the Boston Tea Party. They're still talking about 9/11, right? They're going to continue to talk about it. Black folk are the only people they tell to get over it, right? Get over it, right? Have they gotten over what went on between the United States and England? No, it's in your history. It's in the history books. We learn about these things, right? We're gonna continue to learn about 9/11. We're gonna continue to learn about the Boston Tea Party. We're gonna continue to. No, nobody's telling the people in the South to get over the Confederacy. They still have their Confederate flags. Nobody's saying, "Oh, get over it," right? But when it comes to slavery, it's, "Oh, get over it," right? In fact, Americans have paid in recent times compensation to Jewish victims of Holocaust. Nobody said get over it. Do you think, let me ask you this, do you think the Jewish people need to get over the Holocaust?
It's not. So when I
No, no, no,
like
no,
that,
no. Please answer that question,
no,
please,
no, no. Well,
because the sentiment was black people. You asked at what point do black people get over slavery? Now I'm gonna
yeah.
ask you, what point do Jewish people get over the Holocaust?
But here's why, and I'll answer that question.
Hmm.
Here's But I need to clarify when I say get over it. When I say get over it, I don't necessarily mean um like forget it ever happened. What I will say is black folks are the only people that have become so victimized by it. In my opinion, the Holocaust, you're right. Like, people don't tell Jewish people to get over the Holocaust, but Jewish people are also not asking for special privileges because this happened to them.
Please, no, wait. That's not true. That's not, like I just said.
You
They
hear
just
you hear
got money in recent, within the last 4 or 5 years. They've just gotten money for being victims of the
from who?
Holocaust
From
from the
who?
United States.
Okay.
The United
Okay.
States.
Okay. Okay.
And
Hold on.
so
No,
they're
no, no. Let
still,
me do
so
you
to say
better.
that they're not asking for anything is not true. They're still getting it. They're
Let me
still
do
getting.
you one
You don't have
better.
to ask for what you're still getting. You
Let me do
can't. You
you one
can't.
better. Are they living in Germany, being taken care of by Germans and asking for Germans to pay them reparations because
Yes.
of the Holocaust?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're getting reparations in Israel from Germany, United States, Britain, all of these nations, some of them which had nothing to do with the Holocaust,
Mhm.
are paying them compensation for that to
Okay.
this day. And nobody is saying to the Jewish folks, well, why do y'all keep asking for this money? Right? It's
Mhm.
only the black folk that
Mhm.
people say this. And I think it's real, it's real disheartening because we have black folk who stand against our own interests, our own kids' interests. These reparations would benefit our kids, right? Our parents did not get it, right? That was promised to us, that was owed to us. They paid the slave masters reparations. But we're supposed to get over it. No. One thing I assure you is that we will never get over it, right? The same way that they will never get over the Revolutionary War, the Confederate War, uh, uh, um, what is it, 1776? Same way that they'll never get over that and make holidays for it, you cannot ask us to get over it either, because one thing I know I won't, never, until we get reparations. I believe I owe it to my ancestors to continue to fight for reparations that they died for, that we spent 200 and what 40, 50 some years or whatever it was, that we spent in the additional years under oppression, decades and
Well,
centuries
I
that we
think.
spent under oppressions after that. Yes, because let me say this
Mhm.
one last thing, right?
Mhm.
Let me say this one last thing. For every, as a matter of fact, you go ahead, because I
Well,
believe you have
no.
this question coming up.
No,
So
no, no, and no, it's probably a little bit different. Like, so my issue with reparations, and I don't agree that America should pay reparations at all. Um, and the reason why is because I don't think that they were necessarily responsible for slavery. I think Africans sold off their brothers and their sisters. And if anybody needs to be paying reparations, if it needs to come from anywhere, then bring it back to the source. Like, let Africa pay reparations to all the black folks. I really truly believe that. And so my question to um you is, at what point do we decide that um whether we get reparations from the United States, whether we get reparations from Africa, which is where it should probably come from, how do we move forward and build our community? Because I can tell you right now that you brought up the Jews. The Jews, however be it they have gone, through what they went through in the Holocaust, they have rebuilt. Why not? Why black folks can't do it?
Because the same people that you're talking about who rebuilt, they actively oppose your rebuilding. Um, there's redlining. Is that a thing? Do you believe that happened, or is that just made up?
I don't
Redlining.
believe it happened in the way that black folks say it happened. I believe that
Oh,
it happens, and I believe
so
that it's happening now,
it
but I don't
seems
believe
like
it in the way that black folks say it happened.
you're gonna believe what the white folks say over what the black folks say, just like hands down. Now let me make this
I don't
art.
see
Now
color.
let me go. Oh, now
I don't see color.
right. Okay, now let me make this. See, this is I'm used to dealing with these arguments, right? I'm
Mhm.
very used to dealing with them. And let me say this about black people selling black people, right?
Mhm.
So I think that is another argument that comes from white folk who seek to. Now when I say white folk, for any white folk out there, I'm not I don't mean to categorize everyone. They're white folk allies that we have that understand where I'm coming from. In fact, some of my research and some of my projects and things that I work with, some of those have to happen to be white folks and Jewish folk who actually are
That hate
in this
themselves.
saying. You think they hate themselves?
Oh
See,
yeah, they hate themselves.
it just seems like to me that you have some sort of issue with black folk, right?
Oh, I
That's what
got
it seems
major
like,
issues with black
right?
folks.
But you don't have. But listen, this the
I've
thing,
been black
because
for 40
you have an
years.
issue. You have an issue with black folk who did nothing to you, but the ones who took your ancestors' slavery, you have no problem with. I think that's a problem.
You
That's a
think
problem.
black folks ain't
I
did
think that's
nothing
a
to
problem.
me?
I think no, not they haven't done anything near what white folk have done to you. Nothing near. Listen,
White folks ain't done nothing to me. I can tell you what black folks did. I can tell you what black folks did growing up in the hood. Let me
okay.
tell you, black folks have oppressed black folks more than anybody. I've never felt so unsafe around black folks. Let me tell you, black folks are the people who told you you can't do something. Black folks are the reason that I didn't try to be a doctor,
I don't
because
know
black folks
you're
told
not
me that
around
white
black folks.
folks is out. No,
I
I'm
ain't,
telling.
I'm not around those black
No.
folk. I grew up in the hood,
See,
as you know.
okay,
I grew up
okay.
in the
So
hood,
now
as you
you're
know.
not.
I didn't grow. No, I don't see that. I mean, just like in every other community, you have negative folks. See, that's the stereotypical. This is stereotypical rhetoric that you hear. That what you're spitting right now is white supremacist rhetoric. It's like an indoctrination. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it is. It's an indoctrination. It's like a self hatred type of thing. Like you said
I hate my
earlier,
I
it,
self
it's
hatred,
it seems that way, fam. It
but
does.
I
It
don't
it does.
identify as black. How do I hate
Let me
myself?
right, right. What do you identify as?
A melanated child of the king.
Right. Anything but black, right?
A
Anything but
melanated
black.
child of the kid.
Right. Anything but black. But let me finish making
Uh-huh.
a point about who sold. See that again, that's that rhetoric about black people selling black people. That comes from white supremacist rhetoric, right? When you understand, somebody, if you really research and understand what happened, that's just like saying that is just like saying about this war in Ukraine and Russia. Oh, white people just fighting each other, right? That does that tell a whole story about the Ukraine Russian war? Oh, it's white people fighting each other, right? But they only do that with you. You only do that with black folk. Oh, it's black people taking other black
Well,
people,
no,
right?
there's
Instead
no.
instead of instead of saying, oh, Ukraine is at war with Russia. If it was black people, oh, the black people are killing each other. Instead of saying there are different nations of black people, like there are different nations of white people, right? And so there was a group of black people, Africans who happened to be black, who sold another nation of black people. They weren't the same. right? And I would say the same thing about those people. I mean, I would say the same thing about them. They owe us as well. So it ain't no skin color thing. Yes, they owe us as well, right?
Mhm.
Yes, they do. The Africans that took part in that, they owe us as well. And this is where it comes from, knowing your geopolitical history, right? And the climate that we live in. A lot of people don't even know who's who in Africa. They don't know the history that's in Africa. When they say soul, those people that sold, again, those people that sold black people over there, again, most of the time it wasn't about selling perpetual slaves. They were getting their debt paid off. It was a debt system, right? And whenever we have these conversations, it seems like people with the right leaning mentality always seem to just like we can't see or understand that perspective, that fact that it was a debt thing. It wasn't chattel slavery like it is in the United States. They weren't taking kids and beating kids and feeding kids to alligator and holding people as perpetual slaves to say you're my slave and your son is my slave. Just because you had a son in Africa and you were a slave, that did not make your son a slave. But that's what happened here, right? Essentially they took away whole lineages, right? They raped and tortured, beat, right? This is documented. Whether you want to accept it and say it's not as bad
Well, you gave
as
me
we think
one
it
book.
was,
I mean,
when
you
we
gave me
have,
one book. So what I'm telling you is that the way that you are letting black folks in Africa off the hook, you said these are
I
about
didn't let
debts
them off
getting
the hook.
paid. No, what I'm saying is
When?
they you said that's debts being paid. So what I'm telling you is why can't we say that slavery in America was about economics? Like seriously, like economic, like these people paid their good money for this slave, and it was totally legal, and I saved up my money to purchase this slave to do whatever I needed for them to do. And
Are
I
you?
don't hear you saying that when it comes to white folks against black folks, but when you're
Because
talking about Africa.
it wasn't just about money. I think you I don't I'm not
So what
sure
was
that
it
you're really
about?
listening to what I'm saying. In Africa it was about debt. It wasn't just about it wasn't about, oh yeah, I just want to take you. You less than me, so I'm gonna take you. That wasn't what it
And
was
you know
about,
this
right?
how? Craig, how do
From
you
books,
know this?
from reading. I read books. I read a lot of books, right? I read a lot of books. And in fact, you can read this from the Europeans wrote about this themselves, the acts that they did, right? Negro in the New World. You can check that out and see what they did to black folk in England, right? So you can find those books. You can go on to archives.org and you can find all of those books, the
I don't want to
17th
read
century.
that
Of
book.
could I know you don't, because you don't want to see the facts. A
We
lot of people
need to.
don't want to read
No,
those
no, no,
books
no, no, no.
because they don't want to see the facts that Europeans wrote themselves about what they did. Now it's funny because you're saying these things didn't happen when the Europeans themselves are telling you. They have told you in history books, right, that this is what they did, right? They would take men and separate with horses, right? They would take men and make the horses divide, stretch their limbs apart. This is what they wrote about, right? Where do you think the term gator bait come from? Europeans will tell you where it come from, right? Gator bait. They use black kids as bait for alligators. Those are facts. Those are not things that are made up. Now, to address your question about, how do we move on, right? Now, that's you asked that question and I didn't get to it, so I do want to ask that question. You
Hmm.
said, how do we move on? So we move on. Let's see how America moved on in the past. How did America move on from Japanese internment camps? Do you know how they moved on from that?
No, I don't.
They paid reparations.
Hmm.
They repaired what they did wrong. Do
Hmm.
you know how they moved on from Native Americans and what they did to Native Americans? You want to know how they moved on?
Well, I'm sure you're probably going to say reparations.
Reparations, repair, right, 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 right. How did they move on from the Holocaust, right? America, Europe. How did they move on from the Holocaust?
I'm sure you're going to say reparations.
Reparations,
Even
right?
though
You
even
had to
though the US
repair.
was not responsible for the
You had to,
Holocaust.
even though they weren't responsible, right? They still, this is how they moved on with the world. They felt a need that we had to repair some. Reparations mean to repair that which was broken, right? So in order to move on, you have to repair what you broke, right? Right. And America calls itself a Christian nation, right? Right. And the Bible that Christians supposedly read, right, um, talks about repentance, right? Um, right? Talks about repentance, right? And I remember one time when the person they called Jesus told him, you got to bring forth fruit meant for repentance, right? So how is it that you think that black people supposed to move on and forgive, and these folk ain't even asking for forgiveness? They have not. They've asked for forgiveness from the Jews, the Native Americans, the Japanese, even the Asians. Even recently, in 2002, I think it was, they gave the Asians compensation for the Asian hate crime that arose on COVID, right?
Hmm.
They gave them compensation. That's how they move on. But when it comes to black people, it's move on, forgive,
So
forgive.
my question my
I
question to you,
listen. If
hold on.
you're not asking, I can't forgive something that you're not. If you're not asking for forgiveness for the sins of your ancestors, I can't forgive you. There's nothing to forgive.
So my question to you is, right? If you think that um Indians qualify for reparations, like right, like
Mhm,
if you think that what Indians got was reparations, right? And we all know what happened with Indians and how they were on reservations and all of that.
mhm. Right.
Would would all the welfare and DEI programs and affirmative action initiatives and Lyndon Baines Johnson, um, would all of those things count as reparations for black folks? Or do
What?
y'all just want to check?
Say again. Yeah, I want the check. Yes, the check. Just like they
No, no,
gave the
no, no, no,
Japanese,
no, 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 no.
like they gave the Japanese the check, the Jews the
Well,
check,
they didn't give the
the
Indians the
Asians the
check.
check. Yeah, the Indians got checks too. They got checks too. They got whole casinos and they got checks. They didn't all together get checks. Oh yes, yes. Certain tribes, some of the tribes got checks and compensation for what was done to them. Yes,
No, what I'm saying is that
checks. I
what
want
I'm
the check.
saying is look at the way the Indians are living. So if you're if that is considered reparations, then would you consider all the DEI programs, all the affirmative action programs, Lyndon Baines Johnson programs, welfare system programs, all the housing initiatives for black and brown, would you consider that reparations, or y'all just want to check?
Excuse. I just want the check because listen, a
No, no, no,
misnomer is
not
that the
y'all. You
um,
speaking for black folks now. So what do
yeah,
black
a
folks want?
misnomer. Yeah, because look, the check. We want the check like they gave everybody else.
So
That's what we want.
are y'all willing to give up everything else? Because
Give
y'all
up
been
everything
getting
like what?
checks.
Who been getting checks?
Black
Wh-
folks.
Wait. So and what do you mean by that? Getting checks like how?
So black folks have been getting affirmative action, DEI jobs.
You,
Black folks been getting, like, they have literally
you,
been giving black folks special privileges for a while. That's why we have these
what
whole
special?
executive orders rolling
What's
back DEI programs, because black folks been getting quote
that's a
unquote
that's
reparations
listen.
in that case.
That is absolutely and categorically false.
Okay.
That's false. Yes. Eh, Okay.
I know it's a
I ask you
stretch.
what. Let me. Can you prove that? Because I can prove otherwise with data. Can you prove that?
That
Can you
DEI
prove
programs and welfare systems and all of that stuff for black folks is hasn't that hasn't been given
who's the
to
number
black folks?
one who's the number one beneficiary of DEI?
They say white women. That's what we
No,
say.
that's what the
That's
facts
what
say.
black folks
No, that's
say.
what the dates say. You're gonna protect your white folk. I get it. You're gonna protect your white folk, but the
No,
data
I'm
here
trying
doesn't
to
protect.
protect the truth.
The data says that white folk
Okay.
The white ladies, the white women is the number one recipient, right? And then after
You
that,
if you mean
after the white women,
SBAs?
after the white no, white women are the number one benefactor. In fact, they hold most of the DEI positions. White women, yes, white women hold the number one they hold that rank. They are the number one recipients of DEI. Black folk are way at the bottom of recipients of DEI. You
So
got
black
you
folks
got
should want to
white
get rid
women.
of it
You got
then.
LGBT. No, we don't. I don't.
So why don't
I
you
don't want
want
to
to
get
get
rid
rid
of
of
it.
it? If white folks
Be-
are at the top of the food chain, white women are the major benefactor, then why all the blacks getting so mad about the
Listen, we're
removal of
not.
it?
Listen, I don't. I don't. A lot of black people I know are not mad because, like I said, it benefits mostly white women, LGBTQ, and everybody else, even Native Americans. Before it benefits black people, we're like number five on the list of number five or number six on the list of people who benefit from DEI. But what DEI does, it at least it's not the best. It doesn't significantly benefit black people at all. Just like
At
affirmative
all.
action
Yeah.
just like affirmative action did not benefit black people. But what it does, it puts a check and balance, some sort of check and balance. It slows down white supremacy to a degree. So that's the only reason. That's the only reason why I would agree with keeping DEI. But if it's gone, I'm not gonna cry because it's Asians that are getting in. Black people aren't breaking their backs to get into what is that?
Harvard
Yale,
and Yale.
Harvard, and Yale. Those are Asians that were benefiting. That's why they're crying now. Listen, you can go. The Asians are literally crying because they fought to get rid of affirmative action, and now the white people are getting rid of them. So, but
So
then go ahead, go ahead.
okay. So this white supremacy thing. So we're not going to agree about the, but this white supremacy thing, I'm
Mhm.
really having a hard time with it. And I think we were talking before we started a
I
little
can
bit
see that.
about the 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 white supremacy.
I know.
I believe that white folks at this point in time, at this juncture, I just believe they all out hate themselves. I mean, really, I do. Because they are trying to literally um they are allowing people to basically tell them not to have kids and come over here and replace them. Like, where is this idea of white supremacy coming from? Like that to
It
me,
came from
what does
white
that
people.
mean? What does it even mean? What does that
Listen.
mean?
So let me get this straight. So even though you have even though these people, Nick Fuentes, all of these people come out and say, yeah, we're
Who's
white.
not white? Nick
What
Fuentes.
they're white supremacists. Even though you have people who self-proclaim white supremacists, you're gonna say it don't exist, right? It's not really real, right? Let me hold on. I have let me read with the FBI say about in the Southern Poverty Law Center, right? The
Mhm.
Southern Poverty Law Center, the FBI, they both speak about white supremacy. They both have data on white supremacy. In fact, um, attacks on black folk is listed on the FBI crime data, hate crime data. Attacks on white supremacists on black people, hate related crimes are number one.
Craig, that is just a lie. You know that's a
You
lie.
said that's a lie?
That
Okay,
is a
hold on.
lie.
Hold on.
Ain't nobody
Wait.
attacking no black folks but black folks. Black folks attack black folks.
Hold on. Hold on. Can I share my screen? Now, are you going to recant that, or
I will
are you going to change the
recant.
bar?
No, I will recant. I will recant. But I'm telling you what I live. And you can talk to any black folks. They'll tell you they ain't ran into no white supremacists. I haven't seen a lynching like the George Floyd anti-lynching bill. I'm
All
like,
right, so
what?
let me just read this from the Justice Department. So what you're doing, you're not really giving facts. You're going off of what you feel because I understand your affinity for white folk. But here's what white
I like
folk said.
white folks.
But
I like white
I
folks.
like white folk too. I do. I like white folk. But
White
truth,
people are
truth,
cool.
truth, whether I like them or not, facts are the facts, right?
Mhm.
And here's some facts, not what
Okay.
I feel, right? Here's some facts. Now this comes from United States Department of Justice, right? United States, right?
Mhm.
Said this.
And they're so
Racism. It says
honorable. They are top
hate
notch.
crime. Well, this is based off of data,
Okay.
right? Data means that people sent numbers in and we counted the numbers, right? So we counted. I deal with data. I'm a data person, right? My career leads me on this path of dealing with data.
So
Now,
you know
either
data
way,
can be manipulated. So
of
then
course
you
I know
must.
data.
I used to be a commercial
Wait,
analyst,
wait,
and I
wait,
can
wait,
make the data
wait.
data
So
look like whatever I
wait,
want it to look
wait,
like.
can you show me some alternative facts or data? Other than that, what you're saying really is just how you feel. Like it's emotion is how you feel. But
Well, I
this right
no,
here is
I'll show
data.
you. Okay,
Let
I'll
me
show
give you the
you
data.
alternative data.
So the FBI, the Department of Justice is quoting the FBI. It says there were 5,900 reported incidents in 2023. Anti-black or African American incidents made up more than half of these incidents, 51.3, and were more than three times higher than that of the next highest racial or ethnic category. See, you think that's funny, but listen,
Reported,
I guarantee, right?
reported into
I guarantee you,
reported.
if but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I say, people with our skin complexion can be also racist or prejudiced against black people, right? Or hold some hostility because I can almost guarantee you that if we was having this conversation about Jews and the Holocaust and attacks on Jews, you would not find that funny. But it's very disrespectful to the black community to find something like this funny because I guarantee you, you would not do this with any other race. You do you find it funny that do you actually find it funny about the Holocaust?
No, I don't find it
Oh,
funny.
oh, you don't find that funny. You wouldn't laugh on a Jewish program, right, about Holocaust and how they were treated, right? You don't find that funny.
No,
But you
I don't
find
find that
this
funny.
funny. But you find this funny.
The Holocaust wasn't reported. Like these are
You know,
people
this
saying that a white supreme and honestly, Craig, I'm laughing because I know these black folks. I know these black folks that walk into a store. These black folks that walk into a store and somebody says something the wrong way and they be like, "Oh, you don't like me because I'm black." And then they report it as a hate crime and it really had nothing to do with it. It's like, no, ma'am, I actually saw
see,
you
no,
do
no,
something
I can't let you do
wrong.
that. I can't let you. It's
It's
not. Listen, hold
reported
on, wait. It's not the people who report this data are not the victims. There are law enforcement officers that report this data. It's
from
not the victim.
how? From
So you are
how?
wrong. You're
The,
wrong.
the
You're wrong.
victims have
You're
to
wrong.
report it, Craig. Craig,
Right.
the victims have to report
Right.
it in order for the law
Right.
enforcement to do
They do
this.
have to report it, and it has to be substantiated before for it to
No,
be
it
counted.
does not have to be substantiated. There are things that there are so many things that people cry racism about. And I can tell you a gazillion other reasons that it could have happened, but black folks are the only people that think that things happen to them because of the amount of melanin in their skin. There are people that don't like me. There are people that are not nice to me. There are people that are rude to me. I walk someplace and sometimes they don't say hi to me. I don't say because I'm black. I say because that person's an a-hole or that person is stupid or that person is a jerk. Not because I'm black. Why do we do that? Why do brown people blame everything on the amount of melanin in their skin? It's weird. And honestly, people are sick of it.
Listen, let me be honest. I really don't care what people are sick of, because I'm sick of we're sick of with that. We're sick of being murdered in the street. We're sick of that. So for people being
We're
sick,
not
listen,
getting
they're
murdered in
gonna
the street.
listen.
There you go
They're
with
gonna
that. You want
continue.
data? You want
Yeah,
data?
yes, I do. I love data. You can show me the data.
Oh
Because I
my
know the
God.
data. I know the data. I know
You
the
don't know
data
the
well.
data. Uh-uh.
Okay.
You don't like
Okay.
data. You don't like data because you would have never said murdered in the street. You would have
Yeah.
never said.
Oh, I said it and I stand on it. I said it and I stand on it. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
So have you gotten a chance to read um there is a report by Roland Fryer. Have you gotten a chance to read that? That was
Remind
the
me
one
what
where
the
he said
report.
policing in the black community, and how, now mind you, Roland Fryer is amazing. He's a bliggity black, like he. But one of the things that I love that he said is, I love these people too much to lie to them. And we are telling people, black and brown people, that police are shooting them in the streets, that they are getting unjustly stopped by the police. And he did a study that actually showed the exact opposite. And he was flabbergasted. He was flabbergasted. So he took a whole bunch of interns to do that study, and then he went and got another set of interns and did a separate study, because he just knew that what he thought was could not have had to be the truth, and what he found out was it wasn't the truth. Black people are not unjustly, like, stopped by the police. They're not getting shot by the police the way that people are saying. But my issue is, where does this come from? Like,
It comes.
where's it coming from?
It comes
Why are
from
we
data.
lying to ourselves? It's no, I'm telling you,
It comes from
read
data.
the Roland Fryer report. Read
Listen,
the Roland Fryer part.
Roland Fryer's report does not. Listen.
You said you like
Let me ask
data.
you this. Let me ask you this. Does Roland Fryer's report, how do you match that up with the number of well, first of all, there's an FBI report that came out, I believe, in 2006 that spoke about, this is the FBI, not me. This is data. This is from data, right?
We
Wait.
okay.
Notice I'm not saying what I feel or think, right? This is the FBI that said white supremacists, there's a problem with white supremacy. FBI, look, now I didn't say
It's
this, right?
bull crap. I
The
heard that.
FBI
I
said it.
heard that. But the
The white
FBI.
supremacy. Wait. Let me finish. The
Okay.
FBI reported that there was an alarming rate of white supremacy and law enforcement. On top of that, we have over the last several years hundreds of police officers who they have caught with racist text messages to, showing. So we're not talking about, oh, this is what people feel or they think because somebody said something to them and they thought. No, they have the messages. They have the messages from police officers, judges, political people, candidates, people in office. They actually have them. So for you to say that, oh, none of this is happening, well, what is that? You telling me, we're seeing all of this, but it's not real. No, don't. You're not seeing what you're seeing, right? Now, that's what you're telling me. We're not seeing what we're seeing in the data. Anytime the data has to do with black people, it's a lie, right? Anytime it makes white people look bad, right? It's a lie, right? Notice you have not given me any single data. I've been
Yes,
giving you
I
data
have. I'm
all
giving you.
night. What
I'm
data have you
giving
given
you.
me? You told
I
me
just
about a
told you
book
about the.
flyer.
No, I told no.
Flyer. What,
Roland Fryer
what,
is a Harvard professor, a black guy, and he did several studies. So this is just one of his studies.
I can't
That
speak on that
that
study. I don't know about it. But
Okay.
can
So
you
what
point
I'm
out some
telling you is
specific data sets that he used?
it's data. It's you. I mean,
What data
you
set?
gotta go read it.
His own
Basically,
data set. I'm just asking. I'm curious. Was
his
he using his
data
own data
says
set?
no. He was really interested in this whole policing in America, and he started with like, do black people disproportionately stopped by the police? And he found out that they weren't. And then he researched, like, were black people disproportionately killed by the police? Like, it's a really
No,
in.
that's a fact. That's an established fact. I don't care what Fryer said.
Okay,
Now I'm
okay,
willing to look
okay,
at his data, but
okay.
I mean that's already a proven fact
Oh,
that black people are more likely, black
it's
men are
just not
more likely
true.
unarmed to be killed by
That's just
police.
not
In fact,
true.
in
That's
fact,
not
you can.
true.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it
It's
is. And
not.
listen,
It's
you know what's
not.
also true? You can have a black man and a white man going for going in court for the same charges, right? And the white man will get less time. Same charges, same back. Those are studies that's already done.
But
So
why? Is it because
let
they're
me
black? Is it
let me ask
because
you
they're
this.
black?
Let me ask you this.
Is
Let
it
me ask you this.
because they're black? Is it because
Yes,
of the amount of
yes.
the skin?
There's nothing else to explain it.
So
If you
why
got two
can't several?
defendants, you got two defendants, same city, same chart, same background, same everything. Only thing different is their skin color. Why is there
No,
disparity,
there's a despair.
discrepancy or disparity, whatever in the
Do you
sentences?
believe in social capital? Do you believe in social capital?
Depends on how you define that because
So
depends on how
do you
you
believe
define
that
it.
a person could have better knowledge, better communication skills, better wits, better support at home? Like, why is it the skin color? That's what I don't understand. Maybe I have a mom and dad that set me up in a position that, oh, they know how to write a letter to the judge, or maybe I have friends and family that are more versed on this, and
You
they
know,
told me what to say in my
I gotta be
sentencing
honest.
hearing.
I
Like
gotta be
what? Like
honest.
what? Like why is
I'm
it
a
skin color?
I'm a little
Why?
concerned. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned because you have whether you think you're black or not. Don't white folk that look at you, they think you're black,
They can
right?
think
And
whatever they
they
want. I'm
think you
not
black, and
interested in white folks and what they
you
think.
have the type of rhetoric that's being spoken is something that really endangers your child, right?
No,
And
it
what it
doesn't. My
does,
children
listen.
are fine.
And let me
My
tell you in
children
what
are
way.
great.
Let me tell you in what way it does, right? And I'm not talking about necessarily violent, right? But
Uh-huh.
the same talking points that you're using, you're giving people ammunition to discriminate against your own children because I guarantee you somebody's going to use your same talking points to say, I'm not hiring that little black girl because she was raised by you, right? And I'm not going to hire her because I heard that black girl say, even that black girl Crystal, she said they because they're not articulate and they're not raised right and all of that. They're going to use that against you, and you're giving them ammunition. It's just
What?
not. It's just something that this is another. That's one of the problems that I have. With some black people, we speak and do things against our own interests when
No, we
nobody else is
don't.
doing that.
No, we don't.
Things.
Let me tell
Let
you,
me.
my little black daughter. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm saying it for the whole internet to speak. My little black daughter is gonna say, "Oh, you don't like me because of the color of my skin. You don't deserve me. I don't want to work where somebody doesn't like me, and they're so ignorant that they don't want to hire me because of
And
the color of
and
my skin
I
and
love
not the
that for her.
content of my character. My black sons will not be in a position where they're shot by police because when the police tells them to stop, they know how to stop. Why? Because their father told them to sit down and shut up. And so when a police tells them sit down and shut up, it's very common to them. This has nothing to do with skin color. This has everything to do with the fact that we are not empowering black and brown people to take responsibility of their own life. Like literally, if somebody does not want to give me a job because of the amount of melanin in my skin, I don't want to work for that person. I don't want to speak to that person. That person doesn't deserve to be in my presence. And that's what black people have to get a mindset. Your mindset is teaching them to constantly be victimized and constantly be wondering what the white folks is saying about them. And oh my God, if I didn't get a job, it's because I'm black. There are white people that don't get jobs. There are
Mhm.
Asian people that
I
don't get jobs. There are
you
Indian people that don't get jobs. We are the only ones that say when we don't get a job, it's because we are black. And I denounce that now. I denounce it
you denounce it. You good?
completely.
Okay. All right. So cool. All right. So question question. You're just as good as white people at your job, right?
I'm better than a lot of the people at my
You're
job.
better
Black,
than them.
white, yes,
Black,
I
white,
am.
any of them, right?
Any of them.
Black. Well, I know you don't consider yourself black, but again, most likely by census data and American standards, you're considered black, whether you consider yourself black or not. With that being said, black women are among the most educated in the country, with more master's degrees than just about any other demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of this talk about DEIs about let's go back to merit based, right? This country has never been built on merit. It's been built on nepotism. That's what it's been built on. Now,
Everything
um,
in the Bible is nepotism.
okay,
Every last thing in the
but
Bible is
okay,
nepotism.
we're not. What we're talking about is the promise that America gave, right? America gave the promise of equality, or we're equal and everything like that. So, um, the Bible never gave that. We're talking about a commitment that the United States made. It did not make a commitment to be, you know, to be a nation like that, right? And so, but we've never had that, right? And how do I know that? Because again, the statistics show that black women are among the most educated, more so
Hmm.
than white women, right? Now,
They have the
why is
most
it
degrees,
why
but they're
why
some of the most ignorant people on this
why
planet.
is it why is it that with all of those degrees and all of that merit, right? White women still earn more, out earn black women in they get more per commission in real estate, right? They get more per commission in real estate. Why is that, right? Why has the real estate industry come out and say and spoke about the fact that you can have a black family, right, in a house, right, selling a house, and you can take that same house and put a white person in it, and appraisers come in and appraise it for more, right? Why?
You said
Yeah,
you like data, right?
that's
You
that's
said you
that's a
like
real
data.
that's a real study.
That
Yes,
literally, that literally was one study that people have taken, and
it
that
wasn't.
study
It
irritates
wasn't.
me.
It
That
wasn't.
study irritates me
Wasn't.
more than anything, because they put this
Of course
black
it does.
family, they put this black family's story out there like it was somehow something special. I can tell you that you can, appraisals are something that are human, okay? So you can be a white person, and a white person has four different appraisers, and the different appraisers might be different just based on the fact that they're human and they're using different standards. We are the only people that attach color to the fact that something didn't happen for them. One black family came out and said that this appraisal happened, and then we got rid of all the pictures, and then the appraisal was higher when we put white like, why are we even doing this? Why are we even doing this? There are like 400, almost 400 million people in the United States of America, and we're basing an entire industry off of these few one-offs. Like, that's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
not. It's not a free one. It's not a free
It's a
one off.
few
It's
one-offs.
not. It's not. It's not a free one off. That is absolutely wrong. It's based off of those scenarios and many like it, right? As well
There's not
as
many.
the data, as
There's
well
not
as
many.
yeah, there's a lot more data. There's data that shows that you can have two white people in the same area. They've even done comparable houses, right? Only thing in this data set that they could not account for was amenities inside of the home. Like,
Hmm.
but as far as all the other reported amenities, I guess on the MLS listings or whatever, they can determine that from the public settings. But all things the same neighborhood, same people, same financial income, same status. The white folk are getting for their home, more for their home, and
Why?
uh, I, my
Because
guess
they're
is that
because they're white.
it's inconclusive. But my guess is that it goes back. That part of the data was inconclusive, but it goes back to one part was not conclusive. Was that the appraisal process? Appraisers are appraising white folks at a higher value than they are black folk.
Why
So
don't they? Why can't it be the fact that white folks have better negotiating skills? Why it can't be the fact that maybe white folks have better
because that's BS. Because that
better real estate agent and real estate
simply put,
experience?
that's racist. Simply put, that's racist. That's basically what you're
That's not
saying is
racist.
black people are stupid and we're not as smart as white folk. And that's just no. That's just a
I didn't say
form
that.
that
I didn't
you
say
might
that.
as
I'm
well
just
say
saying.
that. You
No,
might as
I'm
well.
just
That's
saying. Y'all
you're
y'all are the
saying.
only people
That's
that
exactly
bring
what you're saying.
color. What I'm saying is
No,
that y'all are the only people that
we didn't
bring
bring
color.
color. We didn't bring
So
color. We
so
didn't bring color. We didn't. Guess who started the white black thing? White folk. We didn't start that. We did not start that.
what
There
I'm
was
saying is
black
that
people weren't
y'all
even
are
thinking
keeping it
about race.
going.
People were people. People were people. White folk came along and started race and said, white, right? White
Yeah.
this, white that. We're white, so we have the right to enslave y'all. We did
I
not
dis
start that.
I
Wait a minute,
disagree
hold on,
that
hold on,
they said
hold
that they
on.
were white
White,
and they
we
have the right to
black
enslave you.
people did not. Who did Jim Crow? Was that white people or black people that did Jim Crow? Who did Jim Crow? White people or black people?
You tell me.
White folk.
Okay.
Who did the segregation stuff? So listen. So, but you're saying they did it. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't say nothing because why? It's white folk, and they're too good
No,
to
no, no.
criticize.
It's
No,
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 no.
no. The white folk put race. We're dealing with race. We're addressing race, right? White folk did race. We didn't do that. We didn't do redlining. White folk did that. We didn't do that. We didn't do that.
I
We
don't
didn't do
even
that.
honestly, Craig, I'm struggling
Apartheid,
with
even
that.
in Africa, white folk didn't do that. And black people didn't do that. White folk did that,
I'm
right?
struggling with that.
The what is it? The
I'm
one
struggling
fifth,
with
one
that.
eighth rule. The one eighth rule. Who did that? I'm just asking who did that. Was that white folk or black folk? Was that white folk or black folk? You don't even want to say it, right?
No,
Because
no, no,
it's
no,
the
no, no,
reality.
no,
It's the
no. It's
reality.
not that I don't want to say it. What I'm saying is I feel so I feel for black and brown people that feel the way that you feel. I used to feel that way, and I remember just being so um just stunted in my growth and my mentality until I just decided I wasn't going to be black anymore.
I'm not stunned at all.
No, 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 no.
That
I'm
doesn't
not saying
stunt me.
that you are. I'm saying I used to feel that way. So what I would say is a lot of that is murky areas because I don't. So we're not gonna. I'm saying we're not gonna meet each other on that because I think I think a lot about that whole 1/5 of a human or 1/8 of a human. I think a lot of different things about that. I believe that that was a issue with voting. They didn't want they didn't want the South to outvote them because the South had more slaves. So they were like, okay, we can make a compromise with the 1/5 of a human being. But what I will say is now that we are here, right? So now that we are here, we're here in America, right? How do is it beneficial for people who identify as black to now become patriotic and be Americans and not just black?
To be American.
Is it beneficial for them to become patriotic and be Americans and stand side by side with um their brothers and sisters, black, white, blue, or green, and be American? Would that be beneficial to them?
Let's see. Let me see if that was beneficial during Black Wall Street. Did that benefit? Nope. Nope. And listen. When
Oh God, Black Wall
black
Street.
people own less we own less under desegregation since they supposedly all come together, right? Since those times, since we have done that and integrated, right, we have gotten the short end of the stick. Always, it
But
has
we
not
wanted. You said that we
historically.
wanted it.
Wait a minute. Historically, it does not work out for black. Who said? Wait a minute. You don't. Wait. Let's
You
backtrack.
said
What
white
did I say?
folks chose segregation, so that means that we wanted integration.
They chose it in the beginning. But if you understand the history, and I'm not going to get all into it at this point, but I think they took a cue from Cadillac. Black folk brought Cadillac back in the industry when Cadillac was getting ready to die. So it was black folk that sort of bailed them out, right? And they recognized that the value of the black dollar. So money definitely talks. So they were not for integration at first, but when they realized the money that was involved with integration, sure, then they were with integration. Right? Yeah,
So whose fault is that?
black folk have been wanting to integrate, right? It has been black folk that have pushed for integration. We did do that, right? To our own detriment. Now, I'm not saying working with white people or anyone else is bad. I'm just telling you the facts. The facts say that after
You
integration,
keep
the
using
facts,
that word.
yes, the facts after integration. Because if you look at home ownership, if you look at business ownership, if you look at those facts, those numbers, right? So that's why I'm saying facts. I'm saying facts because you can go and look it up, and then you can come back and tell me if I'm wrong. You can call me a liar, right? But I'm telling you, these are the facts, right?
I would
That
never
I
call
have,
you a liar.
right? These are the facts. Since the integration, since all of those things, we have we have gone back and back and back, right? Money used to stay, and just like if you go to the white community, money stays in there. So many however long. Hispanic community, Asian community, so on and so forth, right? And it used to be that way with black folks, right? Money used to stay in our community because we would buy from each other, things like that, support each other's businesses. So it take a while before that money went outside of the community. Since we've integrated, that has not happened. That money have gone, left the community, gone in the white communities, Asian communities, all of those things. So
And
to,
that's
to,
white
to
people's fault.
no, that I didn't say that.
No, no, no.
I
I'm
didn't say that's
asking.
white people's
I'm
fault.
asking. I'm asking.
No, that is not white folk fault. That is that there is black folk fault. Um, White folk capitalized. They took advantage of it, and that's we're the only people who are not going to look out. We're the only people that have a crystal on the other side, rooting for the other side.
That's
To
not
say, hey,
true.
we don't need no reparations. No,
That's not
show me.
true.
Can you show me another? I can guarantee you if they said Asians, y'all gonna get reparations. I guarantee you won't see not one Asian to say, I don't think we need reparations. No, we're gonna get it on our own merit. Only. And see, for that cause, that those are some of the reasons why
I
black
don't
folk won't
believe
get a hit because we have those people. We have people in our own community that oppose what is good for your own
that's
children.
not good. That's not good.
Good for your own
Reparations.
children.
Reparations is not good for black folks.
Was it good for the
It's
Jewish
not.
folk? Was it good for the Jewish folk?
It probably better for the
Right.
Jewish folks
Was it
than
good?
it'll
Was
be
it
for
good for
black
the?
folks.
Was it good
Black
for the
folks got
Japanese folk?
problems.
No,
Craig,
listen.
black
Black
folks
folk,
got
we
problems.
ain't got no
I
more
know
problems than
them.
anybody else
I
got.
know
What
them.
problems did we have differently? What problems that we have that's so different?
What did black folks do with them COVID reparations checks that they got?
Same thing white folk did with them.
Oh, that's the bar. That is the bar. Let me tell you something. Every
Not the
time I
bar.
talk to a black person and ask them about black behavior,
Because
they
we know where
always
the
say
mentality. We're
white folks.
answering the
They
mentality.
always
We're
say white
answering the
folks.
mentality. We know. I
Let
know
me
what you're getting at. So,
No. What I'm telling
have you
you
asked
is
white folk what they do with their? Did you ask white folk what they?
I
Have you
white
gotten on
folks
any
ain't blaming
platform
black
and asked
folks.
white folk
White
what they
folks
did?
ain't blaming black
Right, and
folks.
so
Black folks are the only people that are blaming other people for why they can't get ahead. So what I'm going to ask you is black folks get reparation checks, right? Let's
wait,
say, and I'll take it. Look, I'll take it.
You
I'm
said
telling the
white.
whole
That's
world.
not. See,
If black folks get
I can't let you do that because white
what?
folk out here now are saying they don't have no job because of black folk and DEI. So you cannot say that black folk are the only ones saying that, right? You cannot say that, right? You can't say that when white folk are even suing. They're suing behind it. So for you to say, see that right there shows me that you're one sided. You're not really. I don't. It don't feel like
There
you're
is a
interested in the
law.
truth
There is a
because
law on the
you're
books.
no
Craig, there is a law
white
on the
folk
books.
are saying that
There
they're
was
not
not a
getting
law.
hired because of black folk and DEI.
Craig, you're not
This
being
is what
honest
we're
with
hearing.
yourself.
This is
You're not being
throughout the
honest with
whole Trump
yourself.
campaign. This
I
was
know.
the whole Trump campaign. So to say that black folk are the only ones saying it is categorically false.
That's what I'm telling you
It's
is
false.
there is a law on the books which was DEI, and all white folks want is for the law to be removed, just like the law was removed for black folks. Nobody else is blaming another group of people as to why they can't get ahead than black folk. That's a fact.
No. That's
That's a
not a
fact.
fact. That's
That's a
not a fact.
fact.
I can show you video right now of white folks saying it's black folk that why they can't get a job because
No,
of
they don't say
DEI.
that's DEI is not black folks. DEI is a federal government. DEI is not black folks. Do you understand that? It is a law. DEI is not a people. Black folks are the only people that are blaming other people. That's a fact. That's a fact. Can we agree that DEI is not a people? It's a law.
White folk are specifically saying, let me be clear. White folk are specifically saying they can't get jobs because of black folk and special privileges is what they're saying. Meanwhile, you have legacy emissions that benefits predominantly white folk. Come on now. Listen, we are yes.
Legacy admissions to college. Is that what we're
Mhm.
talking about? You
We're
think
talking about the whole
college
gambit.
makes people successful?
No, I don't. That's not even what I
So
said. I don't
why
even know
is
where you get that
legacy
from.
admissions? You talking about that benefits white folk? Like that? It's so weird to me, Craig, that black folks literally the way you're talking about them. I'm sorry, and this is just out of just you talk about them just infantile. Like, look, black people can't. Like I
Listen,
just
you
never
are the only
think
person
about.
that said that. Listen,
You
in
talk
this
about
whole
black
program,
folks like they're
you are the only
infants.
one who said that black people can't do anything. I'm empowering black people. I'm telling you what black people can do. I have never not once said that. You know what you said? Black people are not articulate as the white person.
I
You
didn't say
said that.
that.
I didn't say. Yes, you
I
did.
didn't say that.
You
I
said. Did
said,
you
what
ever
if
think
they
that
had?
maybe that they
I
can
said,
speak
babe.
better?
I
Maybe that
said,
they're raised better. Is
those
that
are
not what you
other.
said? That's what you said.
Those are other
I'm not making that
factors
statement. You are
in
making
a
those statements.
situation. I mean, you can try and
Fam,
put
fam,
you can try and put
fam,
words
fam.
in my mouth, but I'm gonna put words in my
You,
own mouth.
you can
I
take it
said
back. What you
in
said
the
that.
situation. No, I'm not taking it back. I'm not gonna take back what I didn't say. What I said is if there is a situation with a black person and a white person, could there be other factors besides their skin color?
Like all
I
the
I
time.
can
Like all the time.
it's not all the time because I
Well,
can tell you something. There have been me and my friends have gotten into situations where we have talked about them getting out of tickets because they are white. And they're like, I've gotten out of tickets because I'm white. And I'm like, girl, you have not gotten out of more tickets than I am because of the way I articulate myself. So what I'm saying is could there be another factor besides the amount of melanin in a person's skin? Now, it does not have, I didn't say that white people are more articulate. I didn't say that. I said in those situations, could there have been another factor? Maybe that person negotiated better. Maybe that person articulated better. Maybe that person knew somebody. Maybe that person's parents knew somebody. Maybe that person had different information. That's true.
so let me ask you. Does your theory explain this? This is from Pew Research, right? This is from Pew Research. Let me read it. It says according to BLS data, right, from 2022, among full-time wage and salary workers, the median weekly earnings for black workers age 16 or older are $878 compared with $1,059 for all U.S. workers in the same group. And I'm gonna skip
Do
down
you
a
have you
little
ever
bit.
heard of
Wait, 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 wait. It
Thomas
says
Sowell?
black workers earn less than those in other groups, even among workers with bachelor's or advanced degrees, meaning that and there's another part in this report. It shows that black workers with a master's degree earn on average less. On average means that's a whole lot of times to just count it up to just being somebody who can talk better, right? Wait. So
Oh
so
no, I'm about to
even
eat
wait a
you
minute,
up. I'm about to eat you up.
it's saying that black folk with a master's degree is less likely to make more. Well, is
Cause
going
you
to
think a
earn less.
degree, cause you think a
Wait.
degree makes something.
I'm just pointing
Go
out the
ahead.
data.
Go
I'm just pointing
ahead.
out the
Go
data,
ahead.
right?
You
It's just saying
love
that they're going.
data.
I do
Go
love
ahead.
data.
Go
I do
ahead.
love data because
It's
the thing about data is it gets past people's feelings and what they
BS.
think. And what they
BS.
think, right?
BS.
It gets
BS.
past what they
I can
think, right?
find data. I can find data to support anything that I want to say.
Okay,
But
I'm
I'm about
wait.
to
I'll
eat you
wait.
up.
I'll tell you
Have
what
you
I'll
ever
do.
seen the data
I
with
will
Thomas
wait. I
Sowell?
will
Have
be
you ever
quiet while you pull up the data. You
have
can
you
show me
have
some.
you
I'm showing you
ever
numbers. Now
have
I
you
want you to.
ever
I'll sit.
you
I'm gonna
can
be
show
quiet.
me those
I'll wait.
numbers. But what I'm
I'm gonna
telling you
wait
is
while you show me numbers.
have you ever heard the data that Thomas Sowell did? Have you heard of Thomas Sowell?
Of
Do
course,
you
yeah.
do you know why black folks get paid on average lower than white folks with a master's degree? Black girls with a master's degree, they educated. What is the number one industry that black folks go into? Medicine, engineering, teaching. Teaching don't make no money. And they keep blaming it on the fact that they are black, and it's not. the industries that you pick. If you go into education, you will most likely get underpaid. If you see a bunch of engineers, and if you see a bunch of doctors, and a bunch of uh uh what do you, like, techies making cars and stuff, and you show me those people and they're all black and they're all underpaid, then fine. But y'all make up this data that has everything to do with what you want to believe about your own
Listen,
self. You
I didn't
want
make
to
the data
believe.
up.
You want to believe that
Black people
black
didn't make the
women.
data.
No, you want to believe that black women, as educated as they are, walk into a situation and that somebody automatically just pays them less because they're black. That's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
It's not true.
So
Black women
so
go
let me
into
ask you.
education
You,
higher than any other group of people. They go into education and they do not get married. The number one indicator of wealth is marriage. The number one indicator of health is marriage. Black and white folks get married at a different rate. You know, the number one family household income is Indian. Why? Because they get married at 90%. Black women and black men need to figure it out how they can be together so they can go half on a baby and half on that rent or that mortgage.
you know, you would have a point if these studies weren't done within the same industry. So your argument
They
was that
weren't done within the same
wait. So
industry.
yeah,
That's a
your,
fact.
no, wait. Your argument is that because black people are getting jobs here and there, but we're talking about studies that are done within the same
That's
industry.
a lie. That's a lie. That's a
Wait,
lie. Look it
You
up.
said that's a
That's
lie.
a
You
lie.
said that's
It's
a
a
lie.
lie. It's a lie.
I just read to you the report that
And
shows
it
you in
didn't
the
say
real
the
estate
same.
industry. The report from the real estate industry, and you can do. I'm pretty sure your
Real
company has
estate.
it, right? In the real estate industry, white women make more money than black
Why?
women,
Why?
even
Why?
even when black women have the same or even higher education, right?
Real estate is different than a job. Real estate is a
So
business. If
well,
I'm
again,
negotiating, I might be better than
again,
you. I might be a better negotiator
so
than
it
you.
goes
I
back.
might make better deals
Notice you
than
made
you.
the same argument. Notice you made the
I
same
might
argument
make
again.
better deals.
Apparently they're white. Apparently that it all
You're
boils down to
using
them being better,
you're
right?
using
See,
real estate commissions.
notice I did not make that
Real
argument.
estate
Once again,
commissions?
you just
Real
made that
estate
argument that you said you
real
did not
estate
make. You
commissions?
just made it again.
No.
You just
No.
made that argument again. So your rebuttal to the fact that people in the same industry, white women are making more than you in your industry, regardless of your mind, you're telling me is because they're
I
better.
might
They're
be a
better.
better negotiator
They're
than
better
you.
negotiate. So
I might
right, all the
but
time, right?
you're using no,
Just
you're using real estate commissions. Have you ever considered the fact that maybe real estate is also a situation where you typically purchase from your own or people who look like you? Have you considered the fact that houses in African American neighborhoods are cheaper? So maybe that's why the real estate commissions are lower? Have you considered that? That's what I'm saying.
I have considered that, and so did the
You won't
report.
admit. You
I
will
have
not
considered that, and so did the Pew Resort, the
That's
Pew
bull. That
research
is
report,
bull. That is
or is that
bull. It's
Georgetown?
bull.
But
It is
matter of fact,
bull.
both
It's
Pew.
bull.
So you telling me both the Pew
Show
research
me,
and Georgetown reports are wrong?
show me, show me a teaching industry where the black folks who dominate the industry are all getting paid less than the white folks. Show me that.
And you're right.
Show me that. Show me that.
So
Show
the
me that.
data is
Show
wrong. Wait a
me.
minute. The
Show
known data.
me a teaching industry. Show me. Hold on. I think I don't know what happened. You on it?
I'm on it.
Yeah. Show me a school where all the white people are getting paid more than the black people, and the black people dominated. Show me. Just show me. Don't show me something that's subjective, because commissions are subjective.
Well, you don't want to hear
Commissions are
data. You're
subjective.
not gonna listen.
Commissions are
You don't even want to
subjective.
hear
We
data. The
cannot
only
talk
thing
about
that's not the only
subjectiveness.
thing.
We
The only
cannot.
thing. Listen, the only thing that meets that criteria is data, and you just rejected all the data
That's not
that
true.
disagrees with you. You did. You
Okay.
just
All
you
right.
just you
I
rejected
think
Pew Research, Georgetown University. You rejected the FBI data.
show
You
me.
rejected all of this. I showed it. I told you. You can go find FBI data. It's public record. It's
You
public
know
record. And
what,
I can put it in the chat for you if you like.
Craig?
I can put those links in the chat for you if
Put
you
the
like.
links in the chat,
Right.
y'all, and for you to laugh, because it's all crap. Craig, what I
So the
will
Pew
tell you,
Research data is crap. The
what I
FBI
would
data
tell
is crap. Is that crap?
the FBI data is definitely crap. The Pew Research is not considering the fact that real estate is subjective. And they know black folks like you, y'all all emotional, and you're going to find a reason to say it's because of the color of my skin, instead
We
of
didn't
saying
say it. You
it's
keep saying that. It's
y'all
white
going to
folk that are
say it.
saying
Y'all
this.
going
It's white folk that are saying it.
no,
It's not just
y'all
us. It's white
and
folk that are saying it
if
also.
I was white folks, I'd say it too, because I want black folks to believe it. So y'all can
Good.
follow
And then
suit.
write us the check.
So
And
y'all
then
can
write us the
follow.
check. Right. Cut the
No. You're
check.
not getting no check.
Of course.
No, just keep
Of course.
believing that
Now
I'm more
let me ask you
important than
something.
you. Keep
Let me ask you something.
believing that I'm better than you.
When we do get
Keep believing
reparations,
it.
right? When we do get reparations, you gonna turn it down, right?
No, I'm gonna take it.
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
still not be black, right? You gonna
No,
no
I'm gonna
because you're
take
not
them
black.
represent. Look,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
black
take.
though, right?
I'm gonna take the reparations.
You're gonna take it, right?
I'm gonna take them
But what
reparations,
about
but
your
y'all
what
not gonna
about
get it. You know you're not gonna get it though,
oh
right?
we are. We
No,
will
you're
get it.
not.
And
You
we are.
won't.
We
You
are.
won't.
I guarantee you we
Y'all
will.
are so ineffective. Y'all have no voting power. You have economic
You
power
said
that you give away.
we don't
Y'all are
have
so
voting power.
ineffective.
We're
Y'all don't
partially the
have.
reason
Y'all don't.
black men are partially the reason why Kamala Harris did not make it in office. Black
That's what
men.
they told you. That's what they told you.
That's what we know. That's
That's
from the
what they
data.
told you.
That's from the data.
That's
It's
what.
from the data.
No, it's not. That's what they told you. That's what they told you. Black folks, black folks have given their voting power to the Democrat Party. That is a
Okay, who told you
fact.
that? Who told you that? Is that what they told you? What
They
they told
vote
you that?
this year. They
What they?
voted. This year
Because
they voted 88% for Democrats. 88% for Democrats. That's giving your voting power to a political party. You have no voting power whatsoever until you take it. You don't
we have
utilize your economic power.
one of the highest voting powers there is because we're one of the only people that vote as a block. So that's just
That's
I
stupid.
don't
That
but
is vote as a block. That is the dumbest thing that black folks have considered ever doing. And it's and now the voting power is gone because we're
you
no
say that's the
longer.
dumbest thing. How do you,
That is the dumbest
that's
thing.
how you get that is the very nature of politics. You get a block of people that agree with you and you vote on issues. That is the way
On
politics works.
issues, not
This,
school,
that is
not
dumb.
skin
It's just
color.
crazy.
That is not
Skin
skin
color
color.
might be the issue.
Issues.
And see, listen, it's not. And see, listen, and let me make
And you
this
know,
clear.
black
It's
people
not.
are
It's
no
not
longer
about
the
skin.
largest
I made,
minority.
and I thought I made this clear from the beginning, right? It's not about skin color because I hold the Africans that sold my folk as slave. I hold them to the same standard. Now, it's not about skin color because we don't believe every black person should get reparation. We believe the descendants of slaves here in America should be repaired by America. That's what we believe.
What I will tell you is black folks ain't gonna get reparations, just like you didn't get. California laughed at them. California laughed at them because they promised them. Gavin Newsom promised them, and then when they got to the floor, when the reparation bill hit the floor, everybody forgot. Black
They'll
folks are
pay for that.
no longer the largest.
There'll be political consequences for
It
that,
won't.
and
It won't.
in
And it
fact, they
never
already
is.
got it.
It never is. It's never political consequences because black folks are ineffective. And what I will tell you is you're no longer the largest minority because you kill your babies, you have abortions, and so I don't understand where you think that
We
this
kill our
black
babies.
savior is gonna come from. Where's it going?
You know, you're
Where's it
saying
gonna
things
come
that
from? Where's it gonna come from?
it sounds really
Because
like
you know
racist rhetoric. It does. It sounds like the same rhetoric.
the World Economic Forum calls black people useless eaters.
Who the World Economic Forum?
Useless eaters.
That's fine. Again, why do you
So
think they
and they
do
said,
that?
and then
Why
they
do you
said,
think they do that?
what are you gonna
You're
do?
proud
What are you
about
gonna
that? You're proud about that, right?
I'm not black. I'm not black.
Right?
So what I'm gonna say,
Exactly.
I said, so
Exactly.
what are you gonna
Exactly.
do? What are you
So
gonna
I
do
think
with the useless
you know.
eaters? What are you gonna do with the useless eaters? He said, we'll keep them busy with drugs and video games.
Okay, you can try.
So reparation, where's this reparations gonna
You
come
can
from?
try.
They ain't
You
scared
can
of
try.
black
You can
folks.
try because guess what?
They ain't
At the
scared of black
moment,
folks.
at the moment, the rate of black drug use is going down. The rate of white drug use and overdose is going up. So
Yeah.
you can do that if you like.
A lot of white
You
folks
can
is
do
useless
you
eaters
can
too.
try the what I'm saying is you can try the drug thing, but you act like these things are just specific to black folk, and it's not.
No, I
You
don't.
understand what
I'm
I'm
not.
saying? Those
I'm not
same things
talking
that
about
you're talking
specific.
about is come on now.
I'm not talking
Those
about
same things.
specific. I'm not talking about specific to black folks. What I am telling you is that if black folks think that it's smart to vote on issues that have to do with a something that literally has nothing to do with anything, which is the color of your skin, then you're going to continue to render yourselves useless. Because I can tell you that there are a lot of black folks that need to strap and lock arms with the white folks because their best interest is our best interest. It has nothing to do with your skin color whatsoever. And if reparations is the goal, then I believe that black folks in particular have to change their minds. And if they do not, then reparations, I don't care how much y'all get. I don't care how much y'all get. It ain't gonna mean nothing to your community because you don't know how to keep it. They have given black folks houses. They have given black folks neighborhoods. They have given black folks communities.
They ain't
And
gave
we
us
all seen
nothing.
what it's like. We all seen
They
what it's like.
ain't gave us nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely
Okay.
nothing.
Okay.
They ain't give us nothing. In
Okay.
fact, they the ones been tearing down, like Black Wall Street. They the one tore that down. Yes. I mean, you gotta you don't like that, but you would. Did you do that when we mentioned? Did you do that when they mentioned the Holocaust? Did you go? Do you do that? You probably. I can almost guarantee you don't. Do you do that when they are when when they talk about these other groups and their issues? And see, this is the disrespect. And see that right there. See, you don't have to be white to be a white supremacist. You could be white supremacist in the
You
mind.
calling
You
me
can
a
have
white supremacist?
no, I'm saying that your thinking is white supremacist. Yes, I
No,
don't.
not at
You
all.
can't be a white supremacist. You cannot be because guess what? Whether you know it or not, the same thing that you were saying. This is the this is how ironic this is because that rhetoric that you're speaking, that's how they look at you, regardless whether you keep saying
I
I'm
don't
black.
care how they
Regardless,
look at me.
right, exactly, right.
I don't
But see,
care
this is the
how.
thing. And this is the thing. It affects. But see, what you may not understand is how that's going to affect. Now you say you don't care, which I don't care either, right? Which, but even though I don't care, knowledge is also power because of what you know, right? If you don't know and you just act like things don't exist, then you wonder why
It
you're not
doesn't
making it. Then
exist.
you wonder why you're not making as much money as Karen on your job, even though Karen does have to work, right? Then you'll be one,
I ain't
or you
never
could just be
met.
clueless. You can just be clueless and just let it happen and just say, oh no, it's just there's no white supremacists, even though the white supremacists are in your face saying I'm a white supremacist, right?
And I would laugh. I would
Right.
literally laugh because that
Right,
person has a
but let me
mental
ask you
health
this: Would you be
problem.
laughing? Would you be laughing in the courtroom? Right? Would you be laughing then? Would you be laughing if your son, your daughter, your nephew, your uncle, your father was in the courtroom in front of that white supremacist? Would you be laughing then? Would
What
you
are
think
you
it's funny?
talking about?
Would you think it's funny?
What
Would
are
you
you
think it's
talking about?
wait? You say wait. I'm talking about what you're saying. Would you think it's funny? Right? Would you think it's funny? Right? Would you laugh at it when you're in front of a doctor that has your life and death in his hand? You think it's funny then?
Oh,
When
and
they have and
because
they
they
hate
want
you
to kill
because
me
you're black.
because I'm
Would you
black.
think you think
They
that's
hate
funny?
me because I'm black.
You think it's funny, right? Do
Wow.
you? I'm asking you. Do you think that's funny?
Wow.
Would you
Wow.
think that's funny
A
then?
doctor that hates
Yes,
you and has your
because
life
you're
and
black.
death in your wow.
Yes.
I just I feel for black folks if that's how they think.
You're not going to answer that question.
I feel for y'all. I really do. Like
You
I
feel. You
don't
can
go
feel.
about my
But see,
life
you're feeling. You keep talking
saying
about
you
feeling.
don't
We talking
like me
about
because
data
I'm
and
black. I
reality. We
hate
talking about
that for
data and reality.
you.
We're talking about reality. It's not
It's
about how
not
you feel.
reality. It's
How
in your
you feel,
head.
how you feel for me about that doesn't change the data that I gave you. It doesn't
You
change
walk
reality.
around, y'all
It
walk
doesn't
around. Oh
change the
my
fact. So
God.
you saying that white supremacy is not a problem, right? And you don't care. But how
I
do you
hate
know
that.
how do you know that when you go to the doctor? Because listen, and adverse events happen to black women more, right? When they go to a white doctor. And studies have shown that as well. Now, when you go to a black doctor, your success rate goes up. When a black person goes to a black doctor, see, you think that's funny.
No, it's
See,
just,
yeah,
it's
I think
insane.
that's what I think is weird when you laugh and I
It's
just think that you're not
insane to
grasping.
me.
I just don't think that you get. I don't think that you really understand the gravity of the situation, right? Like you don't
I don't
understand
think
that
y'all
you don't
understand the
understand that your
gravity of the
family
situation.
like you don't understand. Like I really don't think you would be laughing when you're. I saw a doctor during COVID, a doctor who was on her bed dying, being mistreated by the doctors, right? And that helps you to understand and see that helps you to know why black women are more likely to die, more likely to have a miscarriage under a white doctor, right? Those are numbers, and you think it's funny. I know you think it's funny, but that's not funny to the women who have died, the black women, because you would not have laughed if we were talking about Jews more likely to die, right? You would, I guarantee you, your response would not have been to laugh because it's not a funny situation. You know, it's quite disrespectful. It really is. It is quite disrespectful because you or nobody else would do that to no other group. And this is how I know racism and white supremacy exist because things like that, right? And this is
So
why I would never, this is why I will continue to fight because of those things. Because people think it's funny, right? People think it's funny. It's funny. Black people suffering is funny. And
no,
this is
it's
how,
not.
and it is because
Black
you just
people,
laughed this whole time when I'm putting you out data, but you
I'm
thought it was all funny. But now every time I listen, every time I brought up the Jews and white people, the Jews and the Holocaust, and you laughing about that, the laugh went right off your face. And this is the same thing that happens across the board, across the whole world.
here's what I'll tell
You
you.
think that it's not racism is not serious. It's not
It's
serious,
not
right?
racism.
But
It's not racism. What I would tell
it's
you
not
is
racist even when they tell you it's racist. Even when the police even when they find emails from the police saying I hate them N words, right? And if I could kill all of them N words, these are emails that came out from the police department. When the FBI says that the white supremacists are infiltrating, right? To you that's a joke, but I don't think you understand that your child's life is in danger
no,
because
my
of it.
child's not. No, 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 no.
Right,
Wait, that
right. Because
that's your
so
child. My children are
if
not
you
in
put your
danger.
child in the hands of a white supremacist doctor and you don't know it, your child is in danger.
No.
Your
So
child is
Craig,
in danger. Now you
Craig,
can deny that. Now you can be now
my child's
just
not in
because if
danger.
there's a bomb in that building, just because I say, oh, you're crazy and it don't exist, right? And it don't exist, it don't change how dangerous that situation is. Just because you're not aware of it does not mean
It's no, no,
that is
no,
not a fact.
no. So what I will tell you this, what I will tell you this, is I hate this for black people. I really do. I really feel sad that you let this stuff live rent free in your head, Craig.
It don't live
What I
rent
will,
free in
yeah,
my
no, no,
head.
it does. You literally go to a doctor like thinking that they don't like you because you're black. Like it's weird to
Well,
me.
because of the
But
data.
no, 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 no. It's
I
fine.
go
It's
to black
fine.
doctor.
Look,
I go to
I've been,
black doctors
I've had
because the
both.
data tells me
I've
I'm
had
more likely to
my
die than the white one. Why would I
I've
be
had
so? Why would
both.
I? Ignorance
I've had both.
is saying the
Hold on, you breaking up. Craig.
data says you're more likely to die than a white doctor.
Oh man, hold on. Craig went away. Craig went away. So hold on, let me see if I can get Craig back, y'all. Cause this is This is this is crazy. Craig, I'm trying to get you back. Yeah, I'm trying to get Craig back. This is such an interesting conversation. I think Craig is gone. Is he gone? Okay. All right, I think Craig's back. Craig, you back?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I turned my camera off because I'm not sure if it's if I'm having. I think I'm having connection issues. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, no worries. I can't remember what we were. Yeah. So what I will tell you is because I've heard that conversation before with the whole black doctor, and I disagree a lot with the studies on this. What I um healthcare or the a person's health has a lot to do with marriage rates, and I believe that a lot of black and brown people struggle with health and all of that other good jazz because of the rate of the rate of marriages in this, in this, um, like health, wealth, and everything. I definitely don't think it has anything to do with the color of our skin. So,
So it just happened to be that white. It just happens to be that black women are more likely to die or have a bad event under white doctors. That just happen to be that way.
well, like I said, it
Does it have
may.
does that have to also have to do because black people are not as articulate? Is that the case? Are we not
No,
articulate? Does that
no, no, no.
and what explains the fact that it happens less when a black person go to a black doctor?
Well, what I will say
So,
is
something
is
ain't adding up.
that it probably happens less, and I don't know the study or the data, so I'm willing to say that I was wrong if this, but there's more white doctors than black doctors, so naturally it would happen less. So just makes sense to me. But um when it comes to issues of health, um food and diet, we struggle. Black folks struggle. We got 99 problems, and racism ain't one of them.
It's not.
We struggle.
You said it's not, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just not. We
So
got 99 problems.
so
And so there's a lot of issues related to health, and I don't think that it's because the white doctors don't like you, so you end up like they try to not treat you or unalive
so
you.
why do
Like
they die more under white doctors? Why do they die more under white doctors than black doctors?
like I said, I'm willing to admit I am guessing with this, but maybe it's because there's more white doctors. Is that
All right. Let me
you?
ask you this also. So in the construction industry, right? So some data by the Department of Labor, I believe it is, Department of Labor. They've done a study, right, on
Y'all got all
um,
these studies. I tell you,
correct,
boy.
because data, because you can either
Y'all
go off of
got all
feelings,
these studies.
you can either go off
Y'all
of
got
feelings or
all
what you
these
think,
studies.
or you can go. What you think they
Y'all
shouldn't
got
be
all these
studied,
studies.
or you don't
Yeah,
think they
but
should be
what you
studied?
don't understand about me is that I used to be a commercial analyst, and I know that data
Okay.
can say whatever I want it to say.
Well, I
I
do.
can make it say anything
Okay.
I want it to say.
A
I
part of
can
my
make I
data.
can make a spreadsheet say I can make it sing,
Listen, I've been
baby.
working with data. I've been working with data. I've done data for high level organizations. So I don't think it's too many people that know data like I know data, right? I've done data for in the legal industry as well as the workforce.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Industry. I'm doing data to this day.
Yeah, I can hear
So
you.
yeah, I do data, and so I know how for a long time. Data is a major part of my job requirements. Is what I do, data. So I understand how to look at data. I understand how to address data. Understand how to qualify data. And I think what you're doing is totally you're totally neglecting the data. You're just totally and you I don't what I don't see as a person who's dealing with data today. Your assessment and your take on data is just you can't tell me anywhere that you went in the data and in the as a data analyst where you took the same approach that you're taking with this data, because I do data right now, and even in real estate, I've done data for the real estate industry, which I still do to this day. So yes,
I
yes, I
think
run numbers, I do
that your
CMAs, I do
data
comparable market analysis, I do all of that. Yes,
I think what
using
you're
public
not
data sets.
willing to admit that the data can be skewed based on what direction you want the consumer of the data to go. And that's a fact. Anybody would tell you that. Common sense is the best data that God ever gave. And so what I'm telling you is if there is a study showing that white doctors are unaliving black people or not caring for black people at the same level as black doctors are caring for black people, I would call BS. I would call that BS any day. And why? Because I
You
have
can call it
common
what you like.
sense and I know several doctors, and I've been to black doctors and I've been to white doctors. So, and I know people that have been to white doctors and black doctors. And 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 a study is showing that white doctors are malpracticing black doctors is just divisive, and it's a lie. I don't need a
Well, listen,
data to take, it's a
you
flat
got
out
people in
lie.
you got doctors in the medical industry who are coming out and saying it. You got doctors who come out and say that they were a part of it, that they did it.
Oh,
So
well, then it must be true.
so you're
It must
denying.
be
So
true.
see, here's the thing. Here's what I'm getting. Here's what I'm getting. I'm
I
getting
feel
that.
like you just
I'm
making it
getting.
up as you go. Like
You can
it,
say what you.
like I feel like you didn't say that before, and then now like you
So
just
you can go ahead and look up Mike, the health ranger. So he'll tell you he's a doctor. So you can go and look that up. So I'm not. So you can see I'm not making it up. So I'm giving you. This is what he said. I also have family that work in the medical industry, right? And I know you know that. I have family that works in the medical industry, right? Same reports from them. So what you're telling me. So I'm going off of these things, right? And what you're doing it's just it's the craziest thing. You're just rejecting the data. Because
no. I'm
you don't like the data.
rejecting
Now
my
what I'm telling you
common
now
sense
let
is
me tell you
telling
no
me.
wait. Let me tell you how common sense tells you to deal with data, right? Whenever I'm reading these reports, I look at how they collect the data. I look at what controls they use. I look at the sample size. Now you know this because you're a data analyst, right? I look at the sample size if they have this information. I want to know what the sample size is. I want to know what the controls are, right? I want to know all of these things, right? Um,
Craig, you are y'all. I'm telling you, y'all black supremacists are all the same. Like Y'all make it up as you go along. It's so sad. I
So you're
hate
telling me
that for
we made up
you.
the data? Did we make up the Pew
I
data?
hate that for
Did
you.
the black people make up the Pew data?
I
See
hate
now
that
what
for
you're
you.
doing. So now what you're doing is you are making up something because I didn't make up the Pew data that I just gave you. Are you telling me
Yeah.
I made up the Pew data? No,
No,
I
I
didn't do
didn't
that.
say that.
Did I make up the Georgetown EDU data? No.
No, what
Did I
I'm
make up
telling
the
you,
FBI data? No.
what
No,
I'm
I did
telling
not.
you is
Did I
that
make up
you're
the data about what's going on in the real estate market? No. But see, that's a deflection. That's a deflection, a red herring, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, you're saying I'm making it up. When I'm giving you the sources, I'm telling you what sources I am. So you cannot say that I'm making it up when I'm giving you the source. And these sources are not coming from black supremacists. They're coming from white folk,
Oh my
white
God.
people,
Oh
white
my
people.
God. I hate
so
that.
so what
I
you're
hate that
doing
for those white
yeah,
folks. I
yeah,
hate
yeah,
that for them.
yeah. I mean, it's not about what you hate for people. See, you keep talking about what you feel, and I hate to say this because people say women talk about off of emotions and things like that, and that's not what I'm saying. But you've been this whole time saying what you feel. I feel this
No,
for you. I hate that. It's not about fit. It's about these numbers, the data. You have not given an alternative data. Only thing you said is I reject that. But you're not
it's a
rejecting it
lie.
based.
It's
But
a
you're not rejecting it.
lie.
Wait. You're not rejecting it based off of no
No,
research.
no,
You're
it's
not rejecting it based off of
I
any
did a
facts.
pew. I do a pew research.
Listen,
A
you're
pew
not. Listen,
research
you're
meaning I
rejecting it.
know enough people
You're
in the
talking about.
pews.
Wait. You're talking about you rejecting something, but you're not rejecting it based off of no premise at all. Not a
Yeah.
biblical fact.
Yes,
Not a case study. Not anything. You only thing that you have counted with is what you feel. I
I
feel
do
for you
have
on this.
biblical.
I hate this. I don't think this. But there is nothing sound about. I can tell you this right now. There's nothing that you said that's going to change. Definitely not my opinion.
There's not
And no
same.
black,
Look, the same.
no black person in this. The only
That
black person that probably agree with you is Candace Owens.
we have
And look what
found
happened with
common
Candace
ground,
Owens.
Craig.
Look what
Craig.
happened with Candace Owens. I
Craig.
guess they showed Candace Owens that she's still black now, didn't
Hold
they?
on. We found common ground. We found common ground. There is nothing that you said
Right.
that is going to change
I already know
my
that.
opinion.
I knew that before I
And
came on, fam. I
and
already knew that.
and so what I will tell you is I really hope that that BLM road
I don't support
dead
BLM.
end.
I don't support BLM. I'm against.
Oh, you
I
sound
don't
just
support
like
BLM.
them. You
No, I
sound just
don't.
like
No,
them.
I
You
don't. My
sound
views are
just
way
like
different.
them.
My
You
views are a lot different from BLM. I never promoted
okay?
BLM.
Well, I'm
I
sorry.
publicly spoke out against
Well,
BLM. So
y'all
I don't
have some
support BLM.
similarities. Y'all have some similarities. What I
Name
will
them.
tell you,
What's the similarity?
what I will
Or is it?
tell you.
Show me you're not making it up as you go. Tell me, point out those
Oh,
similarities.
so your ideas on white supremacy and your ideas on uh black women not getting paid like that. So that's no similarity. They don't believe that stuff.
BLM is in
Okay,
the
okay, okay, okay,
LGBTQ
okay,
is what
okay, okay,
they're
okay,
into.
okay, okay.
That's
So what
not
I will tell you.
my agenda.
So what I would tell you is there are few people that I study, Shelby Steele, Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams, Larry Elder, and they used to be the same way that you are.
Larry Elder.
And
Wow.
that black road hits you, it's a dead end, and it hits you so square in your forehead until you realize that the biblical facts are we are all made in the image of God. We can do all things through him. There is absolutely nothing that can curse what God has blessed and cannot bless what God has cursed. And
That same Bible that you're talking about said those people said that people that took people slaves is going into slavery. That I mean, you gonna quote that part too
that
and
might
leave it up?
true. That might look.
That's what the
That
book say.
that might be true, but it
I
was
didn't say
true.
it.
Look, it was true in Exodus. It was true in Leviticus. And maybe this cycle is just going to keep on going because I can tell you what, white folks ain't the only people that own slaves. The Hebrews did too. Okay? It's the
They
truth.
the
There's the
Hebrews
truth.
never did.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Hebrews never did a chattel slavery. Hebrews never did that. nor
And
did
you
the
know that.
Africans.
And you
Yeah,
know
I
that.
do know that.
You
Unless you
know
can show it,
that.
unless you can show it to me, I can show you what I can't. What I do know is that white folk did it. I can prove that.
And you know that.
That's something that I can
You
prove.
saw it with your own two
Yeah,
eyes.
yes, yes.
Or
I'm
you
seeing
read a
it
book
now.
about it.
I'm seeing it now. I see the artifacts are here. You can go to the African American Museum in D.C. and see the
Oh
artifacts.
God.
You can see the documents. You can have the history books. That's something that you can
Craig,
prove. That's something that you can prove.
so what I'm gonna
What
tell
you
you,
cannot
what I'm gonna tell
prove,
you,
what
what I'm gonna
you
tell you,
cannot prove, you can tell me how you feel about it, but
what I'm
I
gonna tell you
guarantee you
is,
what you cannot prove is chattel slavery in Africa.
what I'm
Or
gonna
you,
tell
you
you,
can't prove that. You or
and
nobody
and
else.
and and and
That's
I
and
don't
that's the
believe that you can
difference.
prove chattel slavery over here either.
I,
But let's
don't
say,
they
for
the
sake of
government
for
said it. The
argument,
government said it happened. The
so
United
let's.
the people who I'm accusing did it are saying it themselves that they did it. So regardless of what you say, right?
Hmm.
I'm going off of what the people say out of their own. They have convicted themselves. So that's like you saying a person saying I killed that person. You're like, nah, I don't believe it. I just no. Because they themselves have said it. They themselves have said it. Trump has said it, right? He issued a commission to study it, right? Trump did that, right? Trump did that, right? The Republicans even admit it, right? The only people that the people who are not admitting it is a person with a skin color like you that is fighting against their own interests,
No, no,
fighting
no,
against
no.
their
This
own
not my
interests.
no. This not my own interest, baby.
Yeah, you are. It
Let
is.
me
It
tell
is
you,
your
no,
own
no, no,
interest. It
no,
is.
no.
It
You have
is.
to be black to be interested in what y'all interested in,
Right,
and I'm not.
and for the record,
So
let me say this. I use the term black as because I don't like the term black. I use the term black because it's
yeah,
well
yeah,
understood.
yeah, yeah,
I'm a lineage based person. Black is a color, right? Black is a color. I'm not black, right?
yeah.
In that sense, but I use the term black as a designation, right? As
Hmm.
a designation because when we're communicating in this setting,
Yeah.
the other
No, I
terms
know what
people
you
wouldn't
mean.
understand. So I don't consider myself black in that term, but I think you're saying something different. You don't
Yeah.
identify with your history and the people that you were birthed from is what it sounds like.
No, because God commands us not to.
Where?
God commands
No, he
us.
didn't.
Yes, he
He
does.
command. Wait a minute.
We
Let me
are
understand what you're
when
saying.
we
He
are in
commanded us not to
Christ.
what?
When we are in Christ, we are a new creature. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new.
Okay,
So,
and so where does that mean that you
so
don't identify with
I
who
don't
you are?
have to identify. That's not, I am a new. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to identify with what y'all black
You
folks
don't have to.
do.
Nobody said that
So,
you did.
my interest
I'm
in
just
black
saying, but you
folks,
said the Bible
yeah.
said you said it's against the Bible, and I'm like, no, it's not in there. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it commands you that you and you're in Christ, you're a new creature. So what I would
So that
tell
means you're
you
not
is,
black no more. That means you're not African and you don't share any. When you're in Christ, because you're
I'm
in
not
Christ.
oppressed. When I'm in Christ, I'm not oppressed. When I'm in Christ, I don't believe in supremacy of any group. I believe that we're all made in the
Listen,
image of God.
whether
I
you
believe
believe in
that
it or
he,
not, that don't change the fact that other people believe it. So
well,
because you're in Christ, didn't stop Daniel Penny from choking that man out on Subway because you're
and
in
that, yeah,
Christ,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That
That
don't
that
that didn't
subway
change
is so
that
safer.
don't change George Floyd from dying because you're in
And
Christ
George
or the way
Floyd
you
was a
feel.
crackhead. He died from
It don't change that.
free
No.
Chauvin, Derek Chauvin. He was a crackhead, and
Okay, well, listen.
yeah,
That stories for another day. That
yeah,
stories for another
exactly.
day.
Yeah, so
But
no,
just because you're in Christ, that doesn't mean the KKK don't is no longer
I've never
exist.
seen a
They're still
KKK, and
out there.
neither have you.
Uh,
You just haven't. We just have. Can we just be honest about this? Like George Floyd, the whole Breonna Taylor thing was all a lie. The Daniel Penny thing was a lie, and I'm glad that man was free. We just still need to free Derek Chauvin, Officer Chauvin. We
so
can we just all admit it?
when David Duke said he was the Grand Wizard or whatever, you you think he's lying about who he was, huh?
First of
That's a
all,
lie. That's a lie.
I
The
don't know the story. I don't know the story. What I would tell you.
The birth of a nation movie that aired in the White House about the Ku Klux Klan, it just didn't
I feel
exist, huh?
so bad for you, Craig. I
You
really
can feel,
do.
listen. See, you
This
still
stuff
coming from how you
lives
feel.
rent
Listen,
free in
how
your
you
head.
feel. Listen, how you feel. I don't think you understanding this. Doesn't matter. How you feel is not going to change the facts. How you
This
feel
stuff
is not
lives
going to change
rent
this
free in your
data
head.
that I presented in front of you today. How you feel or anybody else feel does not change it one iota. You keep talking about how you
This
feel, how I feel. It doesn't matter. You're
this
how
lives
you
rent
feel doesn't
free in your head, legit.
how you feel does not change those KK Clay cones that they put on their head. It's not going to change that. How you feel is not going to change the history books that talk about it. How you feel ain't going to change Dr. King being brought back to life. How you feel is not going to change the fact that the government was just implicated in Malcolm X murder. How you feel doesn't change that. How you feel is not going to redo the results of redlining. How you feel is not going to change any of that, right? It's not going to change the data that I put in front of you. It's not going to do that.
I'm Craig, I hate this for you. I believe that
See,
God has
you
just a
still talking
better
about feelings.
future for
You
you.
still talking about feelings. You talking about
I
what you
really
hate.
do.
Listen,
Like,
what
I
you
think
hate is
God
not going to
has an
change anything.
amazing future
What
for you,
you
but you
hate is
just so
not going to
stuck being
change this.
black.
Listen, I'm stuck on the data. I'm stuck on reality. I
That's
don't
not
live in a
reality.
I don't live in this fake utopia society where everybody is one. I would love for it to be that way. That would be great. That would be fantastic, right? But I live in a world where I know history, right? I live in a world where history tells me that is not the case. I live in the aftermath where some people came and took my ancestors from Africa, minding their business, and brought them over here and made them slaves. That is the reality, not what you feel, not what you think, not because you wish it was gone, not because you're in Christ. None of that changes any of that, right? I mean, you can think it does. You can live in that world by yourself, but I guarantee you, you are the only one that lives. You and Candace Owens are the only ones that live in that world,
Well,
right?
I'm in good company.
No, you're not. Y'all,
I'm
y'all,
in good
y'all there by
company.
yourself. Y'all there by yourself because
I'm in.
nobody else really believes what you're saying. It just nobody
I
believes it.
think more people are believing and realizing that what
Nah,
we're saying is actually the reality, and what
no,
you
no,
guys
no,
are
no,
saying
no. That's not true.
is just
That's not true. This is why
it's
the United States
sad
is being rejected around the world. Why do you think that is? Why do you
because
think that is? Why do you think that people?
incompetent
Because people
leadership,
are
not because of
yeah,
like incompetent.
no,
So
people are
so so
understanding the nature of white supremacy. Of
oh
white supremacy.
man.
When they sent, guess what? When they sent black troops over the Ukraine, guess what the Ukrainian white folk did? They called them niggas and monkeys.
Oh, and I'm sure
So
that
how
hurt their
so how you
feelings. I'm so
no.
sorry.
See you think see
Niggas and monkeys
you're the
hurt
only
them
listen,
feelings.
you are the only ones mentioning feelings. I'm just pointing out facts.
They call them
It's you're
niggers
just
and
pointing out. I'm
monkeys.
see what I'm doing is following the logic, right? And you think it's about feelings. But
These
see,
are
because
grown people
the
at
only
war
thing,
crying
listen,
about being called niggas and
no,
monkeys.
see, nobody said
These are
anything
people
about
at
anybody.
war.
Listen. Nobody said anything about crime. See, here we go once again being disrespectful to black folk. But you would never do that. And I'm gonna point this out every time. You would never do that to Jews. You would never do that to any other group. But you would do it to so-called black people. I guarantee you, you would not sit on a Jewish I guarantee you would not sit on a Jewish program or in anybody Jewish face and tell them that they're crying because they're talking about the Holocaust. You would not do that. And this is and see that and that's the hypocrisy that goes along with America. And see these are things that we understand, right? These are things. This is why see it's not about feelings. If it was about feelings, I wouldn't be on here. I would have been gone a long time ago. I'm talking about facts. The only one that's bringing up feelings here is you. You're the only one bringing up feelings about how you feel and how you feel about this for
You
me.
keep
But I'm just
saying that
telling
it's
you,
facts,
I'm just
but
telling you
it's
facts.
alternative facts.
I'm just telling you facts.
What I would tell you about the Holocaust. The Holocaust to me.
I noticed you took a serious tone. I noticed you changed your tone about
Oh
the
yeah.
Holocaust.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
because it's
yeah.
very
And I
serious, right?
will. And I will.
Right.
It is. It is
You don't
very
find it
serious.
funny at all, right?
Not at all. And let me
Right.
tell you why.
Because they're not black. I know why.
No, I mean
Because they're and
you
because
could
they're
say
not
that.
black.
You
And
can say that. But if you think that it's apples to apples, the incineration of an entire group of people
Did you see that?
because they're Jews,
Did you see that?
because they're Jews.
Did you see that? But did you see that?
No,
Did
I
you see it?
didn't. I
But
didn't
this is
see
the
it.
standard. This
I
is the
didn't see it.
standard that you held black people for too,
No,
right?
no. What
It's a
I'm
double
telling
standard
you,
and it's hypocrisy.
it's not
It's
a
double standard and
hypocrisy.
hypocrisy.
No, it is not. And
But did you see
and the
it? But did
fact
you
that
just
you
help
would
me to a
try to
standard and
compare it shows the ignorance that you have.
try to
That
compare
you
what?
want to compare an incineration of human beings. Like it's actually
Yes,
recorded
yes,
because you know
yes,
you like history.
yes,
It's recorded.
yes.
Because they are Jewish. No other reason, because they are Jewish. Black people were enslaved just like every other population across the
No,
world,
they wasn't. They
including
weren't.
white
They weren't. It
folks.
wasn't. It weren't just like any
Including
other
white
people.
folks. Yes,
It
they
weren't just
were.
like other. It
Yes,
weren't.
they
No, it
were.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it
So
wasn't.
this is the ignorance of black folks to me, is that they want somebody to feel sorry for them for
I
what
don't
happened
care about them
across
being
the
sorry.
world.
Listen, we
And
don't
you
care
want
about
to
them.
compare the
We don't care about them being
incineration
sorry. We just care about the check.
humans.
We just care about the check.
I'm so glad you're
We just care
you're
about the check.
honest. That's all
I
y'all
am
care
very
about
honest.
is
The
a
check.
check.
You right.
Then
The same
that
way they
makes
cared about the
sense.
check when they brought the slaves over. Yep, they cared
That
about the check. The
then
same
that
way they
makes
care about
sense.
the check when they asking for my taxes. When they asking for my taxes, right?
They're not
So yeah.
asking for just your taxes. They're
So I
asking for
don't care.
everybody's
I'm
taxes.
only listen.
Like what?
Listen. All of that's fine. They asking for everybody. I'm not here speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for black folk, right? So yeah,
Which
and black
I
folk want
hate
the check.
that. I hate that. I really
Listen, you
hate
can
that.
hate it. You
I
can
hate
hate
that for
it. You
you.
can feel how you want to feel. That's not you not understanding. I don't think you're understanding, right? You
I
feeling the
understand
way that you
perfectly because I
feel,
know y'all.
the way that you
I know
feel,
black
the way
folks.
that you feel is not going to change that, right? I don't think you understand that, right? Your
No.
feelings is not going to change that dynamic.
But do you understand that your feeling you keep saying it's facts,
Right.
and it's real in reality it's your feelings.
Well,
You
let
know
me
that,
just say,
right?
no, it's based
You
off.
know
Let me say
you're
this. It's
emotional,
based
right?
off of data. It's based
No.
off of data.
You know you're emotional, right?
If you
Like
say,
you keep
you
saying
can say
that
what you
I'm
want to say.
feelings. It's feelings for me,
I'm
but
going
you
off of what
are
you said. You kept saying
so
what you.
emotional.
While you're saying what you feel, I'm telling you about Pew Research. I'm telling you about Georgetown. I'm telling you about
And I'm
FBI
telling
data.
you about
I'm telling
common
you.
sense.
I'm
I'm
telling you about
telling you about common
your
sense.
your common sense. Common sense at one time said it was okay to enslave people, right? Listen,
Yeah, like in Genesis and
common
Exodus.
sense does not trump
Like
data.
in
In my
Genesis
world,
and
listen,
Exodus.
in my world, and in the professional world, right?
Do you
And
believe
in
in the
reality,
do you believe in the Bible? Do you
in
believe in the
reality,
Bible? Do
I
you
do.
believe in
Yes.
the Bible?
Yeah,
So
you don't want to go
that
there.
is
You don't
common
want to go
sense.
there.
I
You
know.
don't want
So
to go.
that is common sense
You
to
don't really want to go there.
that
But
white people were enslaved as
let's not do
well.
the Bible. We could do the Bible on another show.
White people were enslaved as well. Were they not?
They weren't enslaved like black folk. No.
Oh God, black folks are so narcissistic,
I
and
don't
I
care.
mean
No,
they
whatever.
just are.
We
They
be
just
narcissistic. That is absolutely fine.
it only
Trump is
matters what
narcissistic, but
happened to them.
Trump is
It don't.
narcissistic, right? So
Okay, all right,
listen,
well,
do you
fine.
listen? Americans only care about what happened to America, but you don't have a problem with that. The Jewish folk only care about what happened to them, but you don't have a problem with that, right? The Asian people, they get up and tell you that. And I'm here politicking, doing politics for my group, right? Not, I guarantee you don't have a problem with that. But you got a problem with black people saying sticking up for black people. But you don't have a problem with white folks sticking up for white folk. That's a problem. That's called bigotry. That's called double standard. That's called hypocrisy. Because you don't have a problem with any other group standing up for themselves and fighting for things for themselves, right?
Blaming
You
other
don't have a
people for
problem with that.
themselves.
But
So
you have a
what
problem
other
with
group?
black folk. You have
What
a
other
problem with black.
group?
Well, group
What
what?
other group is blaming
White
a
folk.
whole group?
White folk. You
White
asked, I
folks
gave you
are
the answer.
blaming a law. They
And
are
then
not blaming
something happened
people.
with your something. Notice something happened with your feelings when I gave you that answer.
White folks. No, because you just your facts are
You
just
don't like my
alternative
answer.
facts. No.
You don't like my answer.
It has nothing to do with what I like. It's
My
just not.
facts
I
are
don't believe that you're
once
being.
again, my
I don't
facts are
believe
Pew
that you're
facts.
being. I don't believe you're.
Georgetown,
You're
FBI,
being
those are my
honest with
facts.
yourself.
This
You're
Department of Labor, those are my facts. They're not mine. Those are. This is where I got it from. Now, if you have
I
a
hate
problem with the
that.
data, now listen. If
I
you
hate
have a
that for
problem
you.
with the data, if you have a problem with the data, you know Pew Research has an email address. You can write them and say, hey, I think
I'm
your
not
data is wrong.
interested. I'm not
Of course
interested.
you're not. You're not
I'm not
interested in the truth.
interested. You know
You're
why?
only
Because I
interested
don't
in
need
what makes you
data.
feel
I
because
don't
it's
need data. I
you're
don't
interested
need
in what you feel.
alternative facts to prove what I know to be true.
And you know it
I
how?
know
How
it
do
to
you
be
know it?
true
Based off of
because
what?
I got common sense. There
So
are no
basically nothing. So
doctors.
basically nothing.
There are no
So basically
doctors.
nothing. So
There are
basically
no
nothing.
doctors that are
Basically nothing.
purposefully malpracticing on black folks because they're black.
So basically you don't need alternative facts, right? So basically you believe what you want to believe based off of your feelings, is what you're
No,
saying.
no, it's
Yeah.
not my feelings. I'm
Well,
telling you.
what are you basing it
It's
on? What what
so
what
there's
facts? I
a
mean,
couple
come
of
on.
different ways.
What
There's a
weights of
couple of
data?
different ways. There's a couple of different ways that you can do research, right? I'm doing research by my tribe. Like I'm only
What's your
around
tribe?
black folks. I'm only around black
But
folks. I
you
got
just said
black
you're not
sisters. I
black.
got a black
I'm
mama.
confused now.
I'm only around black
I'm
folks. I didn't
confused.
say
I'm
I was black.
confused.
I'm only around black folks.
I'm
People
confused.
who identify as black. So I'm not confused. I'm not black, but the people around me are black. Does that make sense? Because I
It
got to
does.
clear it up for you.
Right.
The black folks that I'm around, and I'm telling you, I love black. I love them. I love them. They are the closest people to me.
No, it sounds like white
You
people are.
can do, okay, whatever. What I'm saying is that there's a couple of different ways to do research. And so if you have a whole bunch of black people around you, like I do, you can do just a general kind of, hey, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? And if I don't have a single person, and mind you, I'm around a lot of black people, that will corroborate this happening in their life, then I can come to the conclusion that that's probably not the truth.
Was probably not the truth. What exactly?
All of those data, all that data, like
So
like a doctor. I go to black folks doctors and white folks
so let
doctors.
so
I
let
have
me
friends that go to black and white folks doctors,
so let
and
me
I can't find a single person that would say that I got sicker or I know somebody that got sicker because they went to a black doctor. I mean, they went to a white doctor over a black doctor.
so
Not a single person.
here's that's your circle. And see here's the flaw.
Oh,
So
whoa. Okay, I just
wait a minute.
told you I was
Wait a
around
minute.
all black people.
Let me speak to the data analyst, right? Let me tell you how you just killed and crushed your whole argument once again, right? So you're talking about a data sample that's limited to your limited environment versus a Pew Research with far more reach, right? You do data,
Did I
right?
not
You do
say it's a couple of different ways to
wait
do
a minute.
data?
You do data, right?
Did I not
So
say
wait a
there
minute.
was a couple of different
There's
ways to do data?
Georgetown has a larger sample, right? FBI has a
Oh
much
my
larger
God.
sample. Department of Labor has a much
Rick.
larger sample. So you're gonna tell me, right? And see, your experience is much different because in my experience, even around some of our common family, right? Our common family that we share together, right? Even with that, I know of some people, right? So your experience, my experience, a little bit different because I do know people who will tell you that they will no longer go to a white doctor. I know black folk who will tell you that, right? I do know that, right? I do know people who have suffered the same discrepancies in court, things like that, versus white folk. So I know that, right? So I'm around the same black folk, right? So this is why I'm not giving. This is why I didn't say my feeling or my. Let me ask you something. Did you document your research? Did you have any?
No.
Did you have any controls?
No.
No controls in
Mm-mm.
place, right?
No.
No controls.
Nope.
Nothing, right?
I just did the smell
And
test.
did you and
The smell test.
did you document your did you have anybody peer review your results,
Y'all
right?
so
No,
obsessed
no,
with
no, no,
all
no.
this.
No, no,
Y'all,
see,
it's like y'all so
see.
educated, you just stupid. Like like not you. I'm just saying, black folks. It's like they just so obsessed with all this education that it just take away your good common sense. Like, not you in person. I'm just saying black folks.
We just like to reason. We just like to look. We just
Got
like to
it.
live in reality,
Got it.
right? We like to
Got
live
it.
in the real
Yep.
world.
Yep.
We take from our experiences that we learn and that was passed down to us generation by generation. We
That was
learn from
not
those.
passed down to me.
We learn to those.
Jesus. And I'm so
Uh,
glad.
we learn from those things, right? What I've learned from my grandmother and my great, the experiences that they have. And see, here's one thing. Here's one thing that I appreciate my family for, because we've done, my uncle, especially on my mother's side, but also on my father's side, in South Carolina. We have taken a lot of, and I'm pretty sure your father-in-law can attest to that as well. But my family on my father's side and my mother's side have both done. We have documents. We have records of my family's history. So this is off of personal experience,
And
right?
y'all light
I can
bright.
wait
It's
wait wait wait.
always them
I
light
can
bright
wait.
ones. Y'all
We can
so
go.
light.
I just came from the south. I just came from the south for my family's reunion, June July last year, and so
Hmm.
we have records, right? We have records. We have records of atrocities that happen at the hand of white folk, right? So this is
Y'all
something that
need to
happened.
get rid of
This is
them.
something that happened.
Y'all
So
need to get
we'll.
rid
I
of
tell you
them.
what, we'll get rid of those when America gets rid of, the Boston Tea Party out of their books. When they stop talking about 9/11, then we'll stop talking. We'll get rid of it then, right? When the Jews stop talking about the Holocaust, then we'll stop talking about, slavery and those things, right? So when that happens, let me know when they do that, and then we'll stop talking about it. And then
It
furthermore,
hasn't.
wait a minute, and even more, when you go in front of a Jew, when I see you or anybody when I see you go in front of a Jew and you tell them get over the Holocaust, then I will respect that statement. But until then, I don't, because it's quite disrespectful to keep saying get over it when you're
Yeah.
not telling nobody else to get over it. When you're not telling them to get over, and you won't. I guarantee you. If I was a betting man, I would bet money that you would never go up to a Jewish person and tell them get over the Holocaust, right?
Ever.
But you would get it in a black person face and tell them to get over slavery.
Well,
So
yeah,
for
no,
that very
because
for that very
slavery
reason, it's
happened to.
hypocrisy.
No,
No,
no, no.
it's
It's not.
hypocrisy.
It's
It's
different.
hypocrisy. No,
It's
it's
different whether
bigotry and
you
it's
want to believe it or
hypocrisy is what
not.
it is.
Whether
There's no
you want to
different.
believe it or not, it's different.
It's
Killing and
not.
incinerating a whole
Yeah,
nation,
yeah,
enslaving a nation is two different things.
beating and whipping and killing and raping, and you
What
think
I will tell
that's
you,
not as bad. That's not as bad as
no, no,
usually gonna
no.
happen to
What I
black
would tell
folks.
you is consistent with every other
And the Holocaust
institution
lasted
that
how
did
long?
slavery.
How long did slavery last?
It
Two
doesn't
hundred some
matter.
years. Yeah, of
What
course
I'm
it don't
telling
matter.
you,
But the
what I'm
Holocaust
telling
matters
you,
though, don't it?
no, no,
The
no. What I'm
Holocaust
telling
matters.
you is
That
they're
don't matter, but the
different.
Holocaust does, don't it? And see,
It's different.
this is the
It's different.
hypocrisy. This
No,
is
it's
why
not hypocrisy.
this
It's
is
the
why it is
ignorance of
hypocrisy.
black
No,
folks
it's
to
hypocrisy.
compare
No,
the
it's
two.
hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy.
No,
It's
it's
not.
actually
It's
ignorant.
not.
It's
It's not.
actually very,
No,
very
it's
ignorant to
not. It's not.
compare
It's not.
the
It's not. So
slaying
you're
of
telling me
an
the murder of
entire.
one is more important than the other. The murder of Jews is more important than the
So
murder
they were
of
just
these black
so
folks.
they were just murdering black folks because they were black.
Yep, they were.
That's a lie, and you
They
know
were.
that's not the truth.
So
You
why
know
why
it's
did it
not the truth.
why did they go why did they take black folk as perpetual slaves and not white folk? Why did the white folk get to go free?
White folks have taken, maybe because you believe the Bible, and maybe because black folks were the originators of slavery. Maybe that's the reason.
We
I
did
don't
not
know.
do chattel slavery unless you can
Oh,
prove it.
okay,
Unless
okay.
you can
So
prove it, it's
it
a
matters
lie.
what
Unless you
type
can
of
prove it.
slavery. Oh, so
Do you have
slavery,
any
like
evidence? Yeah, it
what
does
I'm telling
matter.
you,
It does
slavery
matter.
is
It
slavery.
does matter because
Slavery is
they
slavery.
weren't murdering their
From
slaves.
gener
I'm not
from
saying that it
gener
didn't happen,
from
but generally
generation
speaking,
to
they weren't murdering their
generation,
slaves.
from
They weren't
generation to
raping their, they weren't
generation,
beating and
from
raping their
Genesis
slaves.
to Revelations, people have owned slaves. That's just a fact. Sorry, black folks, y'all are not
Were they
the
beating
only
their
people that
slaves?
has
Were
been
they eating their
slaves.
slaves?
Yeah,
Were they feeding their slaves to crocodiles?
I ain't never
And
heard that white
and
folks
wait a
was
minute,
eating
what's
slaves.
better for you? Wait a minute, what's better for
Oh
you?
my
Would you
God.
prefer
Y'all just making
a
it up.
Holocaust? Would you
Y'all
prefer a
just making it
Holocaust?
up. Y'all just making it up. Anyway, white folks was not eating no slaves, and y'all just making it up. So what I will tell you is, um, I believe sincerely that Black folks recounting slavery and all the information about slavery, I believe has made them worse. I mean, like y'all can't move
That's what
on.
you believe,
Y'all
but you
can't
said
improve your
still no facts.
communities.
Still
Y'all
no,
can't,
still
y'all
no
can't,
data.
y'all can't, y'all whining and crying about needing jobs and y'all can't create your own. Y'all need to go work for the government. You're mad when the government gravy train done moved out. Like y'all got a lot of problems that y'all need to sort out. Like seriously. And then I believe that people can begin to have the conversation about
The conversation, black folk. Let me
reconciliation.
tell you something. Black folk ain't hearing nothing but a check right now because everybody else got their check.
Y'all ain't getting
Ukraine
no
got a
check.
check.
I hate
Yeah,
that.
but see, I
I,
don't
I hate
listen. You
that
can think
you
that
I hate
you
that
can
you
think that if you want,
aborted all
but
your
that's the
babies.
only thing that's we're here. That's the only thing that we're hearing.
I
Just like
hate that you
everybody else
keep
got check.
yeah.
We listen. We not stopping until we get a check. Like
Yeah.
everybody else. Everybody else got their check, including white folk. Including white folk. So yeah, until we get
Well
our check,
on
we won't stop. And
well
and
on
people like
that
you and
note,
people like you is just gonna feel. So I know you don't like that for us, but it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. And that's what I keep trying to get through your head. How you feel does not change it, and it's
yeah.
not.
Well on that note, I hope y'all get y'all check. I'll take it if they're gonna give it to me. I'll take it. If they gonna give it. But I appreciate you coming on. Craig, we do not see eye to eye, but let me tell you, this was a good discussion. I feel like I learned a lot about you. I hope you learned a lot about me.
Of course.
How can people find you?
You don't. I'm not. I stay private much. I'm busy. At some point, I will. I used to do a broadcast back on Blog Talk some 15 years ago, but I don't do it much,
Mhm.
much anymore. I stayed for the most part in the background. My
Mhm.
fight is in the background. I work with some of your local politicians here in Baltimore, which is why I keep a low profile for the most part. So
Got it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, he doesn't want anybody to follow him. Sorry. But we definitely got to do this again, Craig. We got to do
Sure.
this again. And I'll be looking out for that check in the mail, them reparations checks that y'all
Yeah, we
going to
got
get.
we got we got a way to go, but we gonna get there.
All right.
We're
Well,
gonna
thank
get
you
there.
so much. And everybody, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. Share with someone who wants to talk about racism and the struggles for almost 3 hours. We could do this all night. But I just appreciate you. I really appreciate your time. I thank you for watching. I'm so grateful that we get a chance to talk to you guys in this virtual space. And Craig, thank you so much again. And until next time,
See ya.
peace.